Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. Old school. What do they call that?
I don't want to wear my headphones. I want to wear my earbud.
What do they call those? A quarter inch? Like the connector?
Quarter inch. Okay, so is this working?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay. Whatever, man. I want my head to be visible, and now I got these goddamn headphones on.
Your head's mostly visible.
Well, I'll sit like this, and then it won't matter.
Yeah, but nobody will ever know.
Yeah, I'll do this. Now no one will know I have headphones on. Hi, Steve.
That'll be a very weird way to sit the entire episode.
That's okay. I'll just... Okay.
There
Now
you
I feel
go.
like
Now that's...
Robot! I just need a helmet on top,
Yep.
and that'll be nice.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Hey, man. You going to introduce us?
Hi. This is Summum... God damn it. Summum...
Take two. Okay, go.
Hello. This is Summum Bonum with Old Head and Smurlhead.
And Mark Smurl.
Smurlhead.
Yeah, Smurlhead. Oh, that sounds dirty. Old Head doesn't sound dirty to me for some reason, but Smurlhead does sound dirty to me.
Old Head can sound dirty, but not.
It depends on how what the kind of stank you put in your voice.
That's true. That's true.
Right. Old Head.
Old Head.
Old Head. Okay.
That's a term that, like, every once in a while I'll say it or hear it in reference to me, and I'll go, that's really weird that I refer to myself as that. How did that even happen? I mean, I know how it happened.
Oh, I know how it happened.
But, the first year or so of me doing this, I was Steven.
Right, you were Steven.
But nobody could ever remember that. And so people would comment and be like, hey, Old Head. I'm like, all right, fine, I guess I'm Old Head, I guess.
That's really, okay, so, well, anyway. Yeah. Hey, what do you think about this?
I love it. Lava lamp.
I just got it, but you know what? It's a new one, and I don't think it works very well.
It's
not really lavaing that well.
It's a very slow. Yeah, it's not enough action for me.
Yeah, I was hoping there'd be a little more gyration.
Oh yeah, why is it not going to the top? This seems like a different kind of lava lamp, because that seems like a thicker thing going on in there.
I've had it on for like 4 hours it's really radiating a lot of heat. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I don't know.
I should use this in the winter. I should have tried, but I just got it. Client didn't want it and said, do you want it? And I said, yeah, I carried it home on the train. Nice. Just a guy with a lava lamp on a train.
Next, we got to get you a black light.
Oh, I got one.
Oh, okay.
Well, just the bulb. I just have the bulb.
Gotcha. All right.
I mean, what's the difference between an actual black light and a black light bulb?
Nothing. Because you just need the bulb, right? But you got to have somewhere to put it as opposed to...
Yeah, like a socket.
Yeah, oh yeah, where electricity comes out of, preferably.
Right.
Not an eye socket.
No, it won't light up in there unless I guess it's the Terminator.
That's true. If you were a robot, what? What about Terminator?
No, if a robot. If you were a robot. If you were
robotic and had electricity in your head.
It'd light the bulb right up. My daughter is in love with the Terminator 2 movie. That's a great movie.
It's amazing
to be in love.
Dude, it's an amazing movie. It's one of the rare cases where I think the sequel's better than the original, and I really love the original.
Yeah, I've had massive conversation with a good friend about this where he did not like the second one because he thought they kind of tried to Disneyfy the Terminator by making him good or whatever when he should have just been this mean evil thing that was like fucking
it wasn't all the other murdering that happened in the movie that I would understand it if nobody got killed in the movie, then I would understand that argument.
But he did do that whole thing like he didn't kill the cops at the end of the movie. Yeah. He just shot at their cars and stuff.
Well, I just think that was the right James Cameron's way of subverting what was expected. Because imagine like in 1991 when that movie came out, Arnold Schwarzenegger was known for action movies and for killing people, and to all of a sudden be like, you know what? no
He's not
killing
right.
in this movie.
Oh,
It was
when
cool.
He hits that gun down. No, no.
Yeah.
When he's about to, I mean, because that dude was just talking to him, and he was just gonna fucking kill him just because he was standing there. Like, you know what? You're not even talking to this guy. His programming was so intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I thought it was great, man, and it blew Sequoia's mind when it was the reveal that the other guy was actually the bad guy. You know what I mean? Like that is a fucking awesome
And so
twist.
she had seen the first Terminator.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we started at the beginning. I think she
Okay.
was like 6 or 7. That was the movie that I took the TV and I turned it around and I was like, here's the backside. And then I was like, here's the front. I just want to let you know everything that happens in here is fake. And she goes, even the blood. Even the blood.
Nice.
No one is getting shot. This is not happening.
Nope.
She was like, okay.
It's a play.
So yeah. But she reminded me of that whole thing about where he calls home and the dog is barking.
Oh yeah.
I forget about that scene.
Pretty clever.
And then when he looks at the tag and it doesn't say Woofy or whatever, and he knows that's the writing. The writing, old head, the writing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay. Anyway, this is not about movies. It's about music
No, that's
tonight.
what I was
Thank
saying.
you, Internet. Thank you, Internet.
This is not about movies. This episode.
No, it's about music.
Yes, it is about music, and not about the Terminator soundtrack either.
Okay, and I bet it was good though.
I don't think Terminator 2 actually had a soundtrack album. It should have, but
Well, is that Bad to the Bone?
Bad to the Bone is in the movie, but there's no
Right.
there's no soundtrack. I mean, it was the big song from that movie was "You Could Be Mine" by Guns N' Roses.
Yes, that's right. Guns N' Roses.
But they didn't release a soundtrack for that. There's a soundtrack for the first movie, but it's all just that synthesizer, like cool synthesizer music. Dun, 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 that shit.
Dun, 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 dun. I purchased a keyboard, Roland SP50, XP50, some Roland back in the day, because literally when I walked into the store, it was set up and everything, and it had the little speakers, you know what I mean? And I was like, and the fucking plug-in was called Terminator, and I said, how much is this?
Yeah.
How much do you want for this? I took that thing home. It was like, couldn't have been better.
Yeah.
I was a sucker for that. And best pinball machine in the entire world, in my opinion.
The Terminator 2 pinball machine?
In my opinion.
The Terminator 2 video game, stand-up video game with the guns. Also amazing. One of my favorites.
Was that one of the first rattle gun ones?
I don't know if it was the first one, but it was real early on.
It was real early on.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even have a shooter without having a rattly gun anymore, right?
Well, yeah, I don't think they have them attached like that the way that they do. I think now you just pick it up.
Oh, right. They're on a cord.
I don't know. I haven't been to an arcade in such a long time, but I used to go a lot around that time.
We should start
early
one.
90s. Start an arcade?
Yeah.
But it's got to be just like cool, old school games.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd have to be something to attract people, because there's a lot of those popping up now. There's like 3 in Houston.
Oh my God, is there 3 of them?
Yeah. I've been to one that's like very cool. Has the Terminator game, has a few other games I really like.
Right.
But
have you seen the one where they have the old school games, but they're giant?
Yeah, there's like Dave and Buster's type shit. Do they have Dave and
just
Buster's over there in Chicago?
Over here? I don't know. I'll take a look around, but I ain't seen one.
In Illinois?
I don't know them. I don't know Dave or Buster. I don't know. I've never seen. No, in Illinois. No, what do we have here?
Dave and Buster's is essentially like an adult Chuck E. Cheese. So it's like a bar and a restaurant, but there's tons of video games.
Because it's like Hooters meets a video game arcade.
Well, there's no ladies. Well, I mean, there are ladies, but it's not lady.
Well, that's why they're not doing very well.
Yeah. Well, Dave and Buster's is very successful.
See, I like to make a bunch of statements where everything I say is incorrect.
Yeah. I've noticed that.
Yeah, it's fun for me. Do you know what you're talking about at all? Oh, sure I do. Yes, I know all the stuff. Yeah.
I speaking of not knowing what I'm talking about, we're going to talk about music.
Right. right? You have zero idea about music.
Some of it, yes. But
Oh, by the way,
I have a lot of questions about because, like, what were you asking? Are you what?
am I in the top or the bottom?
You're on the side.
Oh, good. Well, see, I'm on the bottom on this little screen of
Oh,
mine
okay.
here right now.
Yeah, no,
These are interesting things that the viewers of the show need to know.
yeah. Well, and then how I'm seeing it is how the viewers are going to see it, which is
I disappear into you if I.
side by side. Isn't that a song?
Oh, okay.
I disappear
Okay,
into
but am I
you
on
or
this
something.
side or am I on
You're
this?
on this side. So what am I pointing at?
Well, you're pointing away from my lava lamp right now.
Yeah, but I'm pointing at your lava lamp right now.
Oh, well, the lava lamp, I lava lamp, now I'm pointing to my lava
This
lamp.
is the most interesting thing we're going to talk about the entire episode. Just the
I want to like summon up some sort of undead army to attack a castle.
If you had paid money for that lava lamp, I would say return it because it's like
Well, yeah, when it first got hot enough to do something, it shot up like a wormhole that came up and then it poofed out of the top, which was the most badass thing I've ever seen. But I think maybe a hotter bulb.
oh maybe yeah.
But I mean, watch, it's going to separate. Oh,
Is that not the bulb that came with it?
oh,
We're just going to watch the lava lamp for this entire episode.
It is pretty cool. I mean, I understand why these things are still popular.
I always wanted one. I always wanted one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a brand new one. It's a new version.
Okay.
It's of style like the classic.
Yeah.
And look, it's even got the. Oh, you can't see it. It's even got the bottle cap at the top.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
how it had a bottle cap, and I'm afraid it's not up to standard. I'm afraid they had to probably take the lead paint off of it that the old ones had, and they
Yeah.
probably had to remove the aluminum, and then they probably we can't have the bulb too hot.
Yeah. It's
Or
probably what it
or
is.
the cancer that used to be in these things.
Maybe that's
They
what
had
it
to
was.
Replace it without the cancer
Yeah.
or whatever. You know what I mean? And that's maybe it's beeswax and not paraffin. Who even knows?
I just know that I always wanted one. If I had my way, if I was like a rich kid, my entire room when I was a teenager would have been decorated with like Spencer's Gifts stuff.
Oh my God, me too.
Yeah.
Do you remember those bookcase lights that when your music would play, they would?
Yeah.
It was like a square disco box.
Do you remember the little flowers that would dance when you played music? They're plastic flowers, and if you played music,
No.
they would go
What year was that?
early '90s, late '80s, early
Wow.
'90s.
Okay. I mean, I know they got stuff now, like where you just make your
now,
screen
yeah.
do something. Yeah,
It's not
now.
special anymore.
No. Now every Bluetooth speaker has a rainbow button that makes it dance,
Yeah.
but it doesn't do that.
No, it doesn't have a dancing flower. though, so-
Oh, it just needs to go up, right?
Yeah, I see it. Okay.
Okay. Hey, what do we?
We're talking about
Yeah.
albums.
And we had a good time with albums today. This is great. I feel like I don't know how we keep doing this, but we keep inadvertently giving each other basically the same thing, but just 10 years apart.
Kind of, yeah.
We do. It's really weird.
Well, that's why. So that's why I chose what I chose because you first brought it up that you wanted to send me. You had me listen to two things from the same band,
Yes.
and one is an EP and one is an album. And so I was,
Yes.
which is the band Social Unrest,
Social Unrest,
who I had
ladies and
never
gentlemen.
heard of before.
Never, not even once.
No, not even once.
Never even heard the name.
No, not. I mean,
Okay.
not that I remembered.
No, gotcha. Right
And
on.
so I, in my brain, I was like, well, I've kind of all of the music that's like the really important music to me, I've either shared with you or you already know, except for Fudge Tunnel. And so I was like, well, I can do the same thing because they've got an EP that was early on, and they have, an album I can point you to that was like an important album or whatever. And so I'll just do the
Yes.
same thing where I'll also do an EP and an album.
But the kind of band we picked is like within the scene, it was important, but lesser known.
Sure. Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like the fanaticism or the adherence or the enjoyment of because like obviously social unrest, if you've never heard of them, that means they're not 7 seconds, they're not minor threat, they're not Black Flag, they're not the Circle Jerks, they're not social distortion, they're not
Yeah, yeah,
the Bad Brains, they didn't the Misfits, they
yeah.
didn't make it up into that. You know what I mean? And Fudge Tunnel certainly did not either,
No.
but they have adherents that claim them to be one of their favorite groups of all time. Correct?
Yeah.
And I feel that social unrest is the same. And they were active for what, 6 years?
Who? Fudge Tunnel?
Fudge Tunnel,
Yeah,
yeah.
active from like 89 and then until 95 maybe.
Okay. Because I watched that Alex Newport interview that you did. Fucking great. That was great.
That's the best get I've ever gotten because it wasn't
Yeah.
easy. It was
Right.
because he's not a guy that does things like that a lot. And I contacted him like through his website and I
Okay.
just wrote him this long thing basically saying, look,
Right.
here's who I am. And like your music is like really important to me. I'm not even kidding. And it would be cool to just like talk to you for a little bit. And so I feel like it almost took about 6 months of like, let me get back to you for a good time. Cause he runs a studio. So, and he's recording
Right.
bands all the time.
Right.
That's his job. So,
Yeah.
and he owns the studio. So it's like, that's his life. But,
Right.
so
Is he
eventually
in America?
yeah, he lives in Arizona, I believe. No, I think he moved from Arizona. I think he now lives in
Okay.
California because
Okay.
I know his studio moved. And I want to say it's in California now.
Okay.
But yeah. So anyway, yeah. So that was essentially like the most special interview I could ever probably do because
Right.
there are more famous people that I could interview that are very important to me. But the fact that he is this guy in this band that a lot of people don't know,
Yes.
and they were very special to me. And he's not even like the band's not even a thing anymore. They're not
Sure.
He's not out there trying to do promotion for that. So the fact
Right.
that I got him to talk for, I don't know, it was an hour and a half, something like that. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't remember.
Yeah. Hour and 26 minutes.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then like, after the fact, he sent me like some stickers and stuff, and then like we will sometimes like comment on each other's posts online and stuff. So I'm all like, oh, it's like, I made like an acquaintance out of him, and I'm like,
Nice.
I'm like, that's cool because it's not just that. Like it's like I talked about it in the interview. It was not just Fudge Tunnel. It was Nail Bomb that came after Fudge Tunnel, and then it was him all of a sudden showing up on albums that I was listening to as the engineer.
Yeah,
and
that
I'm
was that was cool. Well,
and
and then didn't you even hear his composition on something or something too? Like he's been into composing, like for movies and stuff,
I
right?
don't remember what it was he did, but he did another band as well
Okay.
that was also really good. But,
Okay, right on.
Anyway,
You alluded to several times in the interview about like, hey, sorry, or he did, like, hey, sorry, it took so long for me to get back to you and all this. And you're like, hey, man, not a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I felt like there was a little bit like, okay, well, we've been talking for a while now, but I do want to bring up one more thing. And it was like, yeah, I felt like because between him and Jay, I mean, that's pretty awesome that you got both of those.
those
guys.
are two heroes.
Right.
Like the only what are we taking a picture of?
I'll send it to you later.
Okay.
I'll send it to you later.
Did I
It looked
freeze or
good.
something?
No, we look super good right now, and your
We
microphone
do.
looks like a fez on my head
Oh, okay.
because I'm down below. Anyway, no, but okay, so keep going.
Yeah, so that was
Guys,
like,
you're
yeah, that's two of my heroes that like I got to talk to. Like when
So Metallica next, and then you're done.
Henry Rollins.
Oh, you can talk to him. He talks to everybody.
I've tried. I did the same thing. I've gone through his website. I never heard back. So I don't know. I don't know what else to do. But he's up there. It would be him and then like James and Lars from Metallica.
You probably have to pay those guys.
Who, Metallica?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not willing to do that anyway. But and then aside from that, maybe I would love to talk to Chris Novoselic from
Oh,
Nirvana.
sure. But he doesn't talk to anybody, right? Like
He
I
does
can't, I don't even.
politics. He does political
Yeah, I was gonna
stuff
say
now.
he moved. Okay, yeah.
But I mean, he might. I haven't reached out to him. But I know for a fact that he's the kind of guy that he has. There's a website you can go to, and it on the contact information it only has a mailing address. So that's
Perfect.
There's no email address. You have to mail him a letter.
Perfect. Love it. Have you done that?
Maybe I will one day. But I have
Don't
not
make
yet.
AI write it. You need to write it yourself.
Why are you in my head? I hate writing things like that so much that I just want to somebody write it for me. I get my wife to write it for me.
I'll write it for you. I'll write it for you.
All right.
But don't do it because it needs to come from you.
I know. Anyway, so yeah,
Okay.
so Fudge Tunnel, yeah. So
We're talking about him. Might as well talk about it.
we'll get into Fudge Tunnel then because you recommended the two social unrest things and I recommended the two Fudge Tunnel. I chose Creep Diets was always going to be the album because that is one of my favorite albums of all time. Super important album to me.
Yes,
and then. Out of their first two EPs, I chose the first EP because I think it's the biggest difference between the two things they did.
It was a big difference.
And also, I think out of the two, if you ever go search it out on the internet, if you didn't watch it, we cranked and ranked Fudge Tunnel. And, the first Fudge Tunnel EP I ranked higher than the second one anyway, so I just like it more out of the two EPs. I guess technically there's 3 EPs, but the two first EPs. Either way, it doesn't matter.
Hey, if we cut off, I just want to let you know we're going into one of the most massive storms that Chicago has ever seen.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you follow Chicago weather on the internet, but
no,
it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
I follow the weather in what's the name of the fictional city from the John Hughes movies?
I have no idea what is it.
God damn it.
There's a fictional city for which all of his movies take place in?
Yes. God damn it. I'm just gonna hold on. I gotta
Baltadelphia.
I gotta look it up.
Okay. Oh, now he's gotta know. Okay. I think it'd be
What
cool.
is the fictional city in John Hughes movies?
Would you like me to create an AI search for that?
Shermer, Illinois.
Yeah, Shermer High. Sure.
But in multiple movies, things are taking place in Shermer, Illinois, and Shermer doesn't exist.
Great. No. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But anyway,
Great. Okay.
Apparently Shermer is right next to Chicago because they just go Ferris Bueller. They just go right over to the Cubs game. Yeah.
Boom, they're there in no time at all. Shermer, that would be like a
suburb, I guess. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, but trying to remember. Well, it doesn't matter. We're talking about Fudge Tunnel.
Fudge Tunnel. So so I brought my stuff too.
Great.
So I brought the 7-inch.
Oh, it's a little thing.
It's a 7-inch.
Oh, it's so cute. And by the way, I feel like I know where my poop comes out now because of that diagram.
It's very.
I know
useful.
where it comes out. I'm very aware of where it comes out.
You figured it
out. Now I feel like I have that. Yeah, I figured. I know because there's no way you're gonna have anything down here in your buttocks. That's just a bunch of muscle. So the poop stuff has to be up in your lower back.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that kind of thing.
Well, look, that is literally what that picture is, correct?
But this isn't. I guess I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
It's right in front of your face. You just you would be a doctor anyway, I think. But hey, are they scientists, or can you be a doctor without being a scientist?
No, I think you would be a scientist, wouldn't you?
Okay, so doctors are scientists.
Well, you have to learn science in order to be
well, you have to learn anatomy. Okay, but anyway, what about Fudge Tunnel? I love that album.
So this first
it's a great picture.
First EP.
Show the back. Show the back.
1989.
Yeah, that dude.
Another Summer.
That guy is awesome.
Drummer. Yeah.
That's a great photo.
Yeah.
It's a fucking awesome photo. Anytime a guy is throwing back tear gas at police.
Yeah.
It's like, good job.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't even have a mask on or anything. He's got sunglasses on.
Yep, that's all you need, really. But this was on Pig Boy Records, which I don't know. I don't know anything about Pig Boy. But yeah, it was their first EP, and so I don't know. I'll get into more when we talk about creep diets. But for the
Okay.
first EP, it was like I didn't. I heard it after getting into Fudge Tunnel through creep diets,
Because
because
Gray was your
Gray
gateway.
was the entry. Yeah,
Yeah.
but this one there's a compilation that I also have that has their first two EPs on it,
Okay.
and that's where I heard this first.
Okay.
Which was like I think it was the second thing I bought from Fudge Tunnel because I got into Fudge Tunnel, and what we did was like literally, it felt like every weekend we would go down to a part of a street called Guadalupe, which is right where the University of Texas is, and this strip is called the Drag, and the Drag used to be really cool, like
Okay.
it was all record stores, thrift stores, arcades, pizza places, gutter punks all over the place, all over the street, you know.
Perfect.
And we would go there all the time, and just because that was where the first used CD store that I ever went to was down there. This was early. This is early '90s, and then there was a record store a legendary Austin record store that's no longer there called Sound Exchange. And at Sound Exchange, I found the Fudge Tunnel comp with both EPs on cassette, and that was my
Good for you.
that was my introduction to it.
Still have that?
No, I don't have anything original. I had to rebuy everything because I fucking got rid of literally everything.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Me too.
Early 2000s, you know, I literally sold off everything because I kept moving. And
It's a
like,
drag.
and I was just
drag
like,
to move all that.
I don't need any of this stuff.
Right.
But
Same. Did the
really,
same
I
thing.
did need it. Like it was stupid.
No,
but it
yeah.
wasn't.
I was just thinking about that
It
today.
wasn't meaningful to me in my 20s. Now it is in my 40s.
Yeah, right. Because you're about to die.
Yeah, it's probably what it is. Because I just want to be buried with it all in my coffin.
Right, like a tomb.
Actually, I want to be cremated. So what I want to do, it's actually going to be really good because they can dig the hole, but instead of putting a coffin in there, put all
Sure.
my records and special CDs and all that stuff in there, and then sprinkle
okay.
me on top and then bury it.
Bury it. So okay, you don't want it. You don't want the goodness of your record collection to move out into the world and others to enjoy. You want to be. You were like, this is mine, and then you want to be buried with it.
If my son wants it,
There is that.
if he does not,
Then right.
they're going to the grave with me.
Oh.
Sorry. Anyway, so did you listen to this first or Creep Diets first? I'm glad I'm so.
I listened. What?
I'm glad I'm so
Are
amusing.
Are you mumbling? What are you mumbling about? I listened to that first.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
What
And
were
I
you-
just want to make. I want to come clean. I have heard hate songs in E minor, but I don't, because Daryl was into it. Daryl was the bass player in Stick, and Stick was a group that I used to play in. And apparently, I'm not near as important as Jay or Alex, but I do have my own show with you. So this really
Not
is-
near as
it-
important.
Yeah, this makes me. This is what I get with you. Is
Why
this.
do you not?
know what I mean?
Why do you not feel like you're as important?
I'm just being.
Okay. You're being dramatic.
Yeah, just a turd. Right, exactly. And I did like it when I heard it, but I never bought it. And so it was never played by me. It was just in the van. And now it's disappeared into all the music that was played in the van
Yeah.
when we were on the road. And so I kind of like I didn't hear him. But I remember I was going, who's that? Is this what? That. And every time it came on, because it did have a sound that was interesting.
It honestly wouldn't have surprised me if you guys had randomly played with them at some point, because
I thought we did.
Because I saw a flyer the other day that said you guys opened for Hum, and I was like, you opened for Hum? That's fucking sweet.
Yeah, I gotta figure out if that really happened though.
Oh, like if the show actually went on?
Was it Kill Whitey that did that?
No,
or
it was
It supposed
Stick.
to be Stick, and you saw it on Matt's web page thing.
Yeah, and it would have been when You Prefer an Astronaut to come out. So I was 95. So
Right.
Wouldn't have been Kill
Yeah,
Whitey.
man. I just feel like I would have totally remembered
Or
seeing
you were
Hum
like super
because that
pretentious and you're like, oh, who the fuck is this band? We're
no
Stick.
that
We're
no
fucking Stick. That's what you got. That's what
you
you're.
fucking pussies. Right, just that. Yeah, because we were known for being that kind of those kind of people.
Yeah.
No, because that record was super important to me.
Yeah.
It is super important to
Still
me.
is to me as well.
Oh, that fucking record is so good. I can barely stand it. Like, what the fuck are they even doing on that record? That is it's so fucking heavy, and then it's
They got back
not.
together
Ugh, so good.
because they're playing shows again. Because they put out they reunited and put out another album, which is really good.
Okay.
So now they have a total of 4 albums.
Okay.
But they broke up because the drummer passed away. But then they have gotten back together to play shows because I don't know if you know this or not. You probably don't know this. They've
I don't
blown
know
up
anything.
on TikTok.
Hum.
Hum have blown up on TikTok.
Great.
Yeah.
TikTok
They're-
is a social media platform.
It is, which is
Okay.
a lot of young people.
Young people on
So
TikTok.
literally, they're now playing these shows where all these like 20-year-old teens and 20-year-olds are all coming out to see them, and I'm just like, that is so.
Wow.
If there are bands that deserve it, it's bands like that, you know.
Totally.
So it's
Yes,
very
agreed.
weird. But anyway,
Agreed.
I'm hoping that they'll put out some more music because everything they've put out is fantastic to me.
I just really only know that record, and I really, really like that record.
Oh,
But
I highly recommend Downward is Heavenward, which is the one after that.
Okay. Well, I would probably be into it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you know what, man?
You would be.
You said that thing once about the person you worked with at the dry cleaner about how it's like too difficult to get into bands, so you just really like albums. Was that how that worked? Was that guy?
He said he doesn't have favorite bands, he has favorite albums, and I was like, that's kind of a cool way to be, I guess, but you know.
I feel like ever since you said that, I'm like, huh. So there's a different. Like, I never even thought to think what type of fan I was.
Yeah.
Of music, you know what I mean? And I was like, that's probably closer. Really? I mean, because I'll get onto an album that's like just slams into you, and it's just
Yeah.
becomes your whole life for like 3 months or whatever. You're just listening to it over and over.
Yeah.
But anyway, I will check out. I will check out Hum for sure.
I go.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I don't know if we played with Fudge Tunnel. I just have this memory of following Daryl into the Liberty Hall to see a show, and he had a Fudge Tunnel shirt on, and I could have made that up.
Probably not.
And so I'm wondering if we were coming around from the staircase that was down the backstage thing or whatever, and coming around to watch the band, or whether we were coming in the front door to watch the band. I really feel
you don't even know
like
what
we
band it
saw
was.
Fudge.
Oh, you
I
saw
really
them.
feel it was. No, I really feel like we saw Fudge Tunnel. But if we didn't see Fudge Tunnel, I also don't think we saw Fudge Tunnel.
Got it.
It's a 50-50 shot, but I
Yeah.
do have this like whatever. Anyway, they were around.
Well, I do know that one of their biggest tours, I don't know if you guys would have gone because it would have been a mostly metal show. Because one of the biggest tours they did in America was like Sepultura, Clutch,
Definitely.
them, Fear Factory. Yeah.
Well, Clutch, we were all over Clutch, and Daryl was also very much into Sepultura. I
so
remember that.
maybe he went and saw
Yeah,
them.
but I was not at Liberty Hall. We didn't go to a little theater and see them. They probably played a stadium of some kind or a larger theater.
I'm sorry, what? No, they in
Sepultura?
Austin. In Austin,
Sepultura.
yeah, yeah. In Austin, they played Liberty Lunch, which was like 500
place.
capacity, maybe.
Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's basically what. Yeah, but I don't think I would have gone to see Sepultura.
Yeah, no.
I don't know why. I mean, I heard Daryl playing it in his room.
That was one. That's one of my biggest regrets is not going to that show because I was in a play at school and
Oh, what play were you in?
I played. Here's the thing. I
I
played.
can't wait to hear this.
I played a
Okay.
character called the Fire Marshal in an absurdist play called The Bald Soprano.
So this was a written play by your peer group?
No, by
in
an
your peer
actual playwright, an absurdist
okay.
playwright.
Okay. The Bald Soprano.
The Bald Soprano. I don't remember what the guy's name who wrote it, but he's known for writing what's called absurdist theater.
Okay.
And I was in that play.
How
and
did you get in this play?
it was at school. I was in theater.
You're awesome.
I was in theater for 2 years
Okay.
for my freshman and sophomore years of school of high school. I was in theater, but I didn't like. This was one of those things where it was like a student teacher directed play, and I was interested in it
Yes.
because it was weird. Because I didn't, I
Right.
liked, I was in
Weird.
theater because I was like, oh, acting. But then when you get into theater, they're like, oh, do you want to be in 42nd Street? I'm like, no. When are we going to do cool shit? Like I don't
Oh,
want to,
right.
like I don't want to do musicals. I don't want to
No.
do Shakespeare. And so like I realized very quickly, like,
What?
oh, if I want to be an
on.
actor, I have to start doing all this horrible, stupid shit. And I was like, no, I don't want to be an actor anymore. I want to be a musician.
I don't want to be an actor anymore. I want to be a musician. That's what you said. Because what are you in eighth grade?
No, I would have
No,
been.
you're in high school. You're
So
in high
yeah,
school.
so 16, something like that.
Sweet 16.
So I would have
Sweet
been
16.
so yeah. So but I mean, I would have been totally. I would have pursued acting if it was as easy as if I like had family that knew well enough to be like, oh, he wants to act. We should go to an agency that gets him
A headshot.
or what do you call it? Auditions. But like
Auditions.
my parents, not only did they not know shit about anything, but they didn't want to help me do anything either. So,
They were like, right, just be an engineer.
so I had no idea.
Just get an education. The arts are a dead end.
In 19, in the mid 90s, I was all just like, how do I get into a Quentin Tarantino movie? That's like,
Right. Take your shoes off.
yeah, I guess so.
Apparently,
I
you
guess
love
so.
the apparently low speed. I didn't know. Okay.
But anyway,
So, Fudge Tunnel, you didn't see the show.
You knew of Fudge Tunnel,
Yes.
but didn't remember what they sounded like. And listening to this EP
really.
probably didn't jog your memory because it doesn't sound even similar to hate songs.
No, it does not. Okay. Well, whatever. What it does sound like is Discharge, Antipasti, GBH. There's a very, very, very English hardcore thing about that.
That would make
EP,
sense.
and I absolutely love that shit. There's a weird thing that goes on in England where punk rock is still rock and roll, so you can still kind of sell out a theater or whatever. Like it wasn't like in America where you're like trying to go to a VFW hall or a community center someplace and get somebody to cobble together a
Punk rock bands
PA.
were like that popular in England?
I think punk rock bands were like still rock and roll.
Oh.
I'm not entirely sure.
I
I don't
guess if
think.
you're like The Clash, maybe.
I mean, didn't they play? Well, I know, but then that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
punk rock over there, like got on the radio, like they played it, like they,
Yeah,
like the
you're
Sex
right. Yeah,
Pistols had
yeah,
a
you're
thing or
right.
whatever. I think it was still rock and roll. It was just punk rock, and so I think I think the Exploited probably played big places. I don't. Look, I don't think they had a little hole in the wall. I mean, sure, that first punk rock club where everyone went to go see the Sex Pistols and stuff were like the you know what I'm talking about. There's the original punk rock club in London.
I'm sure
or
they
whatever.
probably played the equivalent of like theaters, like big theaters over there. I don't think they were stadium bands. I think they were
Yeah,
because
well,
I know that Black Flag went over and played with the Exploited
Right.
in the mid '80s, and
Yes.
it wasn't
You-
like they
you
were
and I bo-
playing. They weren't.
You and I
playing-
both watched that same interview, right? It was or listened to that interview. It was
Well, I
Henry
read the book,
Rollins
his
and
book, but yes, yeah.
okay, there was that really. Do you send that to me? Is that how I found out about that interview where Henry Rollins interviewed Ian Mackay and they talked about going to England for the first time, or when Black Flag went to England for
I
the
thought
first
you
time?
sent it to me.
Oh, well, see, that's what I'm saying.
Two
I love
old
you
dudes
so much.
talking.
I love you so. I thought you sent it to me. Okay, so, but, yeah, so I think, so basically, I feel like, I love that echelon of English punk bands that probably sold out a good size. Like, how much is Hammersmith Odeon or whatever? How many seats?
That's a
is that? Do you know?
that's a large theater, so it's not
Okay.
that's not an arena, but
No.
but it's still that's still a pretty fairly big room.
Yeah, and I don't know if anyone else who's listening right now, if there's anyone who likes that echelon of punk rock that would have been what the very late '70s. Well, it would have been the early '80s, right? That. I mean, GBH, right? Where do they play? Do you like GBH by any chance?
GBH. Well, I don't know a lot of their stuff, but GBH
Okay.
was not a huge band. They were huge in the punk rock scene, but
Yeah, they were
GBH didn't have
huge
like
in the punk rock
radio
scene.
hits or music videos or whatever, did they?
I don't know. I don't know.
Um,
But anyway, neither did Fudge Tunnel at
no.
that point. Right. So anyway, I loved it. The like chaos of it all that is going on that EP, I immediately took to it. Like it was not even. It was a genuine like, oh yeah, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that is the one thing that I would say about especially this EP is that there is a punky quality to it that kind of gets replaced with more of a metalish quality later on.
yes, and I feel like of all the, I felt like they had the same vibe as Mudhoney would have later. Mudhoney is very loose
I
and
could
like
see that.
wow, 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 wow. Right, and
Yeah.
they were definitely. I mean, their parts were there, and they weren't sloppy and didn't sound like they couldn't play. They sound like they can play the fucking shit out of their instruments. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But there's a certain, is this gonna work? And then like when the songs are over, the way it's recorded, you can just fucking hear the amps in the room, like you're just like it just you're just growling at you.
Yeah.
But when they all play, it sounds like it just goes. It's just the microphones are just trying really, really hard
Yeah.
to keep up with the amount of sound that has to come into them, and I love that quality. So I immediately fell into this band. I did not understand a fucking word he said.
Nope.
Persecuted, right? He says so.
In Sex Mammoth, I know for sure he says the phrase fudge tunnel in the song.
In this song, okay.
Leprosy, they say the word leprosy.
Leprosy, yeah, that's got a great
Persecuted, they say
chorus.
the word persecuted.
Yeah, what's that one?
In,
What's
Ru-
the chorus?
in Rudge, they do, Rudge, is it
Rudge!
really you?
Rudge! That was
thought
like a
I
perfect,
killed you!
Yeah, that was a great punk rock anthem, man. I
Yeah.
fucking love that. That was really great. And so yeah, and then Persecuted is the Led Zeppelin song as far as I'm concerned.
It's a little- And like, because leprosy and persecuted are a little bouncy. They're a little
They
like,
are a
groovy.
little bouncy.
Yeah.
Yes, and I really like the chorus on that Leprosy one, and I was gonna record myself singing it so that I could remember it exactly. It says something, something, some leprosy,
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't know
It's
what
really
he's,
good.
what he's saying, but
Yeah.
they, as far as I know, they were pretty big on like not basically saying the lyrics aren't important. So much so that in like the physical copy of Creep Diets, it literally says there are no lyrics on this album.
Yeah, that was yes, that the photos you sent to me of
Yes.
the albums, it says that.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is interesting. So does that mean he's making it up though? Whatever. Anyway,
I don't think he's making it up. I just think that I don't know if he's like if it's anything like me. I, for the most part, never wanted to print lyrics to songs that I wrote because I don't think my lyrics are very good, and I don't, and they're not the selling point. I'm not fucking Bob Dylan or whatever. So when I write songs, the lyrics are very secondary to everything else.
okay.
So I never, and I think he probably feels the same way, where it's like everything else is more important than the words I'm saying.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm guessing, but he seems like that kind of guy.
Yeah, you didn't specifically ask him that question.
No, although I did ask him recently because there are incorrect lyrics to "Gray" going around the internet, and and I asked him, I go, "Are these the right lyrics?" And he was like, "No." So
Is it the one on Lyric Zone or whatever?
It's on fucking Apple Music. It's on Spotify. It's on Genius. Like it's the incorrect
doing that-
lyrics have just somehow made it around the internet.
Yeah, I was trying to read him along as I was listening to the song. And I'm like, this is not what he's saying.
No.
And
I don't
then
know. I don't know who. I don't know if they used AI to try to figure out what he's saying, and that's what came out. I have no idea.
Well, I mean, is it because, I mean, that's one of, like I sent you that screenshot of, it says lyrics unavailable, lyrics unavailable, lyrics unavailable, lyrics
Yeah.
unavailable. And then you get on Spotify. And then if you type in trying to find the lyrics, it'll go, oh, we'll go to Spotify and listen to the song. And we'll give, and what Sequoia did, my daughter told me, is like, well, you're listening to the album. There's no way they're going to have autoplay lyrics to the album. You have to go listen to each song specifically, not uploaded as the entire album, and then maybe the lyrics.
I would just
are
like
under
to
there.
let you know that Apple Music doesn't work that way. You can see the lyrics to every song. Doesn't matter how you're listening to it.
Well, thank you, Summum Bonum, presented to you by Apple Music. Thank you very much.
But don't go read the lyrics to any Fudge Tunnel song you see because they are going to be wrong.
Okay.
except for one that I found the lyrics to.
10%.
Yes. But anyway, that's late. That's for later. So yeah, I
That's
agree.
for later.
So I love this first EP. I just think it's great energy.
Yep.
But I also love the fact that it doesn't sound anything like the next EP gets a little bit sludgier and a little bit heavier, but it's still got a little bit of a punky quality. And then then they get to Hate Songs, and it gets way like darker and like not. It's yeah. It's not super metally. It's just not as punky.
No.
More dark and I don't know, dreary noise, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I should probably go visit that just because that's the one thing I remember hearing. Yeah. But I didn't have enough time. So
that's all right.
I did listen to this stuff. I just listened to it again today. I want to, really push to listen to these things, and so I've got something to say about them or whatever, so I feel pretty confident right now about this. Not so much on Creep Diets, but this one I dove into pretty hardcore and listened to several times. I listened to it while I wasn't listening to it. I listened to it while I was doing other things. I sat down and listened to it several times, and I really, really enjoyed and it's so short. It's like 4 songs or whatever.
Yeah.
And they really what the longest one is, I would say, Rudge. Would you say that?
Rudge is
like the
I don't know how long they
Okay.
are.
Yeah, because they're on an LP and they don't say they're on vinyl and they don't say how long they are.
No, there's no times on it, so I don't know.
Yeah, there's no times on them. Yeah. So, really enjoyed it. So, go ahead. What are we going to do now? Oh, wait. I had another question. You have got to have, with the amount of times that you've talked about Fudge Tunnel on your channel because of the amount of goodness that you get when you listen to them, do you have people commenting on Fudge Tunnel a lot? Or do you find that even your base here, viewership here, they also don't really know much about Fudge Tunnel?
I think that once I started talking about Fudge Tunnel, a lot of the people that were my viewers didn't know them and learned about them from me, but then ended up being fans.
Okay.
There are some people that watch my stuff that knew them, but it seemed like they found me because of those videos and they already knew Fudge Tunnel.
Gotcha.
But it's still not a lot of people. Like that Alex Newport interview has a lot of views. But the majority of the reason for that is because of Nail Bomb, the project that he did after Fudge Tunnel. That's what brings because that's with Max from Sepultura. That's
okay,
who.
And
that's
who's okay.
So that's what brings people to the interview, because Max had kind of like started doing shows under the name Nail Bomb and had like his son doing the parts that Alex Newport would have been doing. And so I think a lot of people were like, why is Alex not doing it? And people would find my interview.
Sure.
But he gave them their blessing, or his blessing. And honestly, like, I like what Max is doing with his son, because he has another band like with his son. And I love the fact that like his kids became musicians and he plays with them. And I'm just like, there's something so awesome about that.
Right. Totally.
Anyway.
Wolfgang von Halen.
But queef diets.
different. Yeah.
Creep diets.
Do you think that creep diet? Do you think that you could define swapping as a creep diet?
Swapping what?
We just haven't said the word swap yet.
Oh, I get
on this
you.
episode, and I was just curious
kind of
if
swap.
I'm a little bit but that's a great album cover.
What?
Creep Diets.
Yeah.
Creep Diets.
So
it's a great album.
No
vinyl. What? Oh, there we go. There it is, big. Oh my God, what is even going on with that?
So I have it on. This is like originally how I got it on CD. And this is the American Columbia Records version of it.
Okay.
That's got like the little fly guy that's from up there.
That's your poster back there. Oh, that looks cool. Looks like I'm looking at. Whoa.
And then
awesome.
This one is the Earache Records version. That's a little bit different. It has like a little secret message on the inside.
Okay, that's the one that says perhaps the greatest movement on it.
No.
No, what was that one?
You're talking about Hate
I
Songs.
hate songs. Okay. All right.
And then this is the vinyl, which was also only available in Europe, in the UK.
Okay, but you got it. And what is that on the back? Is it a forest from above?
I'm pretty sure it's like a hive or something, close up of a hive. Because see, like there's like, I don't know.
Oh, it's a little bee or something.
We tried to talk about that on the Crank
We
and
did.
Ranked, and I didn't. I couldn't.
You and I tried to talk about it.
We did.
Yeah, over texting. Which
okay.
I'll publish all of our texts if you want to.
You
If
don't need
the
to.
viewership really wants to read
But
all the shit that I text you about.
I love how like even more to piss off people wanting lyrics. Like you open it up, and there's
Nothing.
like
Pages but Zippo.
blank space.
Wow.
It's just a picture of the guys at the bottom, and then the album credits here, and then then how 90s is that? Where you just have random pictures of stuff. I miss that kind of artwork.
Yeah, it almost has a hacky sack feel, like a hippie feel. It's got like a hippie. Almost looks like hippies with all those colors and stuff.
Take that back.
I can't take it back.
But then I have the CD single for Gray.
Oh,
this is the CD single of Gray on Columbia Records.
Right. Now that's really.
And then this is the CD single of 10%, where on the inside it's got
there it is.
It's got the lyrics to 10%.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think it's because it's related because like 10%. If you read the lyrics, it's easily about their record contract.
Oh, I thought it was about their management.
Or that, but all I know is that the cover has part of their like contract, and it's got everyone's signatures, but Alex Newport did not sign it.
Okay,
so
nice. Yeah, he didn't seem incredibly happy with all of the shenanigans.
No, and I know what they went through because like they weren't the only band that fit into some sort of weird category where everyone went, "Ooh, could this be the next Nirvana?" And
hearing that Creep Diets record is, yeah. I mean, I'm sure they were really talking about that.
And honestly, like, yeah, if I think if they had the right marketing, they could have made kind of a bigger splash. Mm-hmm. But it seems like that's not what they were in it for. They weren't interested.
No, they didn't change. They didn't change their name.
What, did Nirvana change?
You know what I mean? That would have. I think they would have had to have changed their name. I mean, I don't think you're going to make it. I mean, I know you guys talked
you're
about that.
right.
Like the butthole. You talked about that, and I thought that was interesting. They're like, well, what about the Butthole Surfers? And I do remember they went to BH Surfers for a while, and that got them on the radio or whatever. But yeah, I think that because that Creep Diets record is very bleach,
very of its time.
It's very of its time.
And
I gotta say, if I would have heard it then, I probably would have really attached myself to it. But now it sounds very retro.
I talked about this. Every time I mention this album, I say the same thing because it's really like
right.
Because I was the weirdo metal guy where I didn't just like metal, and I was always looking for that music that was like, oh, where does this even fit in? And like, but this was the first time I heard. This was because in '93 was around the time that I was really like, oh, I want to like make music, and I was writing music, and in '93, at the end of '93, I think is when I would get my first guitar. And so hearing this album, I was just like, it was the first time I went, oh my God, I want to be in this band. I want to make this music.
Right.
And then eventually when I started to look into getting into a band, nobody wanted to make this kind of music.
No.
So that's why it's so important because like not only do I love this album, but it was like because of the fact that they didn't become popular, it's like this part of me that like a lot of people don't know anything about and other people know it, and I can look at them and go, oh man, if you're into this album, then I kind of feel like maybe we're on the same path musically speaking or something like that. So that's where it was. That's why it was so important to me because it was like I saw that music video for Gray, immediately went luckily found Creep Diets at the UCD store I talked about earlier,
Already.
because it was a promo. So somebody had
Oh,
gotten the
gotcha.
album as a
Somebody got it
promo
as a
and went, fuck this, and sold it.
And so just immediately sold it.
And then but
Right.
that's how I found so much stuff, because all the radio stations and stuff, I guess, or maybe like, publications or something, would all
And
get
college stations too.
And they would all get promos.
Yeah.
And this is right, and this is also right on the campus of UT. So you would go to these UCD stores, and literally almost everything you flip through had that little gold punt thing on it.
Thing. Yeah, right.
Or a
Did
little
that have a
punch in
hole
the
punched
back.
in it?
Sometimes,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Anyway,
That's
so
awesome.
now, 30 plus years later, I recommend it to you.
Yes.
Just because of that, because it's like, I don't listen to this album and think to myself, Smurl's going to be into this. I just think of it like, well, this has been a getting to know you thing. And this
totally.
is probably there's very few other bands that I would point to and go, if you want to know me, you probably need to know this band.
Well, and that's what's so fascinating to me about it, is because you had said something to, like, oh, this music is custom made for me. Oh, this
Feels
band
like
is
it.
custom made for me. Like, you've said that, you've in your admiration for this band, you've spoken those words similar to that.
Yeah.
And so when I hear it, it's like, oh wow, this is like, I'm listening to, like, in 93. Is that what we're talking about when the Creep Diets came out? How old are you in 93?
14.
14. So I'm 24, so you're 14. And that's what I thought. I was thinking about, like, oh, you must have been like, 14, Jesus Christ, what grade is that even?
14.
Is that eighth grade, seventh
junior
grade?
year? No, it's high school.
That's high school. My daughter's like 16, and she's just.
I think I was a sophomore. I think it was the second half of my sophomore year, I think, would have been 93, because I think 91, 92, 92, 93,
Sure.
something like that. Fuck, I don't know.
I'm very confused about
High school,
everything.
though.
Oh, okay, high school. Okay, so anyway, I for some reason thought you would have been a little bit younger, but okay, it's still cute though.
Yeah.
It's still, my little imagination of you in this record is still very cute. I thought it has a very, very Bleach feel to it. There's some songs on there. I even think at times he sounds a little bit like Kurt. And I think that the approach, especially that Bleach era stuff, which is a little more psychedelic and like a forceful and not as pure pop melody as
A lot more noise.
Ton more noise, which
Yeah.
I think Nirvana were also very much a lot more into they obviously included noise in parts of their music all the way through In Utero, but
Sure.
I think that stuff in the beginning was
Yeah.
a messier ordeal. And he's the one, doesn't have that stuff, like, oh, I'm ready, so
That is some tightly crafted rock excellence right there. Not so much noise.
No, that is fucking pure candy, man. That guy could write a fucking melody. There's no doubt about it. So, I wrote down fucking 90s is crap. I was like, wow, this is fucking 90s is crap, man.
Yeah.
This is like amazing. That first song, Gray, very much had the would you believe it? It's just my luck. And had that kind of-
I could see that.
very feel to it, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, and I'm not going like this, and I'm like, okay, I get it. It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Like the fucking record is. And it was very interesting to listen to him, to Alex, when in your interview, talk about how this was like the most song-oriented album that he thought that they had ever done.
Mm-hmm.
And if I just have to judge between the two things I heard, oh, for fucking sure it is. Like,
Yeah.
this is very close to songs.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to know what the fuck he was saying, because for me, lyrics are very important.
Yeah.
I have to. That's how I know how to remember stuff.
Yeah.
Which is another thing too, because we've talked about this. Like, I want to hear your brain listen to music, because I feel like you pick up on these subtleties and can remember them. Where if I can't go, he's the one, who likes all that penny, then it doesn't go in. You know what I mean? Like, if it's just, like I need a thing to happen, So
Yeah.
And this album doesn't give you that.
No.
And I don't know what they're saying, so I can't even go like tough guy loving the big die to burn that. You know,
Yeah.
I don't even know whatever.
Yeah,
I don't even have a thing.
not only does he not enunciate well, but also the
Yes.
vocals are kind of buried sometimes.
And which I like,
Yeah.
and that because my ear will go way in to try to listen to it. But if I can
Yeah.
figure out what the fuck he's saying and I'm into it,
Yeah.
then it turns my whole thing on. Then I'm like, okay, like he's got here's the bombast. Here's what they're saying that leads to this thing that's churning out. So
Yeah.
I had a hard time connecting to the record just because, and I searched and searched and searched, for this stuff in here. But anyway, I did really enjoy nice production qualities. You know, the thing that struck me about that song is that the departures from the main thrust of the tune, they like literally sound like another song. Like they kind of go into a different production quality or whatever. There's some distance that's put in there that I really enjoyed, and I thought it was enough. Do you agree with that at all?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, and I mean about the production itself, that it actually kind of goes into it takes you into a snippet of something else, and it allows.
I feel like it's very dynamic in
Yes.
between the quiet and loud
Yes,
kind of parts.
which is
Yeah.
what, yeah, which was great to hear him talking about that and being like so obsessed with Dinosaur Jr. and stuff, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I really enjoyed that about that song, and then yeah, so I don't know if you want to go through this thing track by track, but I did kind of put some stuff down. But anyway, it didn't it wasn't like
Didn't connect with
as
you as
much-
much as the other
as much as that. Now,
Yeah.
I think, and also I gotta make kind of an admission here. Like Alex himself said, you know, he's not a metal guy or whatever. He was talking about that. I really didn't like Jesus Lizard very much, and I don't really like the Melvins very much, so there's like this whole like thing about this blah 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 that goes on or whatever,
And those guys, and those are barely. Well, Jesus Lizard is not metal at all.
no, they're not metal at all. But that's why I'm picking those two bands specifically. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really even.
So you're not into the noise
gravitate
rock
much
thing.
to. Well, but I do like some noise rock stuff. But I you know, and like Scratch Acid. That
I feel like maybe you lean towards what noise rock was in the '80s when it was just Sonic Youth and things like that.
Yes, and PIL.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some shit in there that they're doing that is like, that's not even playing a chord. It sounds like you're trying to not play the guitar.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that kind of stuff. And No Trend, and even the last song on that Social Unrest album, that doom, 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 there's that last song on that EP where it just goes off into echoey noise and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I feel like I need some not funk, reggae. I feel like I need some hypnotic reggae bass line, that, you know what I mean? That's like,
Yeah.
gives me something to lock onto.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's not that Fudge Tunnel didn't do that. The bass playing is actually very intense and very anchored. It very much anchors their music, which
Yeah.
I really enjoyed. But after a while, there's so many riffs that are going that I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, I can't keep track of it. And again, without knowing what he's saying or being able to like sing along, you know what I mean? I had a hard time, like, but
Yeah, I mean, when I first heard the album and listened to it a bunch, it's one of those things where you can pick out words here and there,
yes,
but I tried my best to like try to understand what he was saying, but then eventually I got to the point where I was like, it's actually kind of cool
Sure.
to not know
sure,
what he's saying. Because like, I mean, there's so many other examples where you know exactly what somebody is saying, and sometimes it doesn't even make the song better. You know?
no,
'Cause
or you think they're saying something else, and it turns out they're not saying something as cool as what was in your head.
honestly, when you know what
Yeah.
a funny fact about me when I was young, when I was a kid, I thought that musicians made up words.
You have told this story.
Did I tell you that? Because
Because
for years I would just sing gibberish words to certain songs, and then later in life be like, "Oh, that's not what they're saying. They literally are saying real words." But in my childhood brain, I was like, "Well, of course they make up words. Why would they not? That seems perfectly normal." And to be fair, on that note, the Melvins actually do that sometimes.
Oh, okay, right, sure. Cigaros.
My favorite thing about there's a Melvins song. The very first song on their album Houdini is is the only song that has the lyrics printed in the album, and it's complete gibberish.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It literally is.
Literally gibberish.
Sure. Well, sometimes that's just fun.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
But that's what he sings in the song. He sings absolute gibberish in the song.
Okay.
So anyway.
Right on.
Yeah. What are we doing? So I don't know. You don't have to go track by track on this. It's hard for me to like divorce myself from the years of knowing this album, because I try to think about it from a first time listen and go, well, it's not like, it's very, you get a lot of the same vibe in several songs on this album.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
So if you're looking for like this huge variety that, really is good, is, there's just parts of songs, and then you have, Don't Have Time for You. That one's obviously a little bit different. But other than that, it's pretty much.
Yeah. What is okay, so like for instance, Tippergore,
it's faster.
Here's another,
a little bit faster.
And here's a little bit. I really apologize about this because I initiated this. Okay, so and I was like, I wrote down in here. I said this process that we chose was not wholly fun for me. The whole download, unzip, make a thing, and whatever. And I really, really fucking missed. I mean, I wanted to hold this record so fucking bad. I get it.
I had a thought about that. So next time we come to albums, or at least for me, if the next time I come to an album that it's not financially possible to get you a copy, if I can get, do you have a CD player?
Oh, of course I have a CD.
So I'm either going to try to find you a CD copy of the album, or I will literally burn you a CD copy of the album and send it to you.
I also think that as a fucking guy who's not completely stupid, that I can work this out to the point where I become comfortable with it.
But it's not as fun.
And that I get it isn't.
I didn't even have as much. I mean, I liked listening to what I listened to, but I was like, oh, it'd be so much better if I was holding it. And
every time I listened to that, I pulled the records on. So I said, anyway, if I had heard this album in 1983, I would have formed an attachment to it. If I had purchased the record and I had the art in my hand, I could sit there and absorb the art and read the lyrics, which of course wouldn't be on there.
Yeah.
The songs sound good. But it was hard to sink in at that point. Now, this is the third time I've listened. I listened to it 4 times, and this was the third time. And I again tried to do that thing where like, okay, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to listen to the record. And I fucking felt like, and I probably wrote it in here.
Dead air, everybody.
No, dead air. I'm sorry. At this point in my life, listening to this, I feel like I'm miles away from the sound of that record. Really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just have gotten so into like trance and hip hop and electric dance music and all this stuff that's going on. But I really, dude, and I cannot stress enough that this process I am living in it. Like this is one of the main modes that I am operating on as a person, is that we are doing these things with one another.
Yeah.
That I get a chance to listen to this stuff, and I get a chance to imagine you listening to stuff, and I get a chance to think about the 10 years, the almost exactly 10 years apart that we are, and where things hit us and why we attach to it, and then the coincidences that happen within the things we pick. I'm totally fascinated into it. So 10%, I hadn't realized the other song had stopped playing and that this one had started. That's what happened to me on this
Which
one.
is weird because there's not only an ending to the song, but then there's like 2 or 3 stops at the beginning of the song.
Okay.
It's like a false start.
Okay, I don't know. Anyway, but I did like it. Face Down comes on, and I said, now I'm into. I said, okay, now the intro to this one was awesome.
Yeah.
That thing they do, it starts to sound almost prog rock or
Yeah.
something. And it's the guitar sounds different. They've used different voices or something is happening in that intro, and I was like, oh, you know what I mean? This was like, oh, I started feeling, up. I felt like a natural, genuine, real. And then, but I said, then it kind of fell back into the song kind of departs from that pretty quickly. I
Yeah.
thought they were going to give us a whole separate.
Now it goes right back into what you knew they were doing already.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, then this was a big thought for me because I gave you a record that sounds the same all the way through too. Like I like it when bands hit something and stick with it.
I don't think you gave me that.
You don't
But
think so?
in certain ways, sure. We'll get there.
Okay, all right. Anyway, and then so yeah, so that was Face Down. Grit came on, and then I was like, oh my God, like also you have mentioned, oh well, people get older and they're not really into music anymore, and then they go and they do something else and they're not pursuing new music and this and that and the other. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. I couldn't tell you the last time I actually like before starting this with you that I sat down and listened to a record all the way through, and I was like, it is like a muscle. I am atrophied. I don't have the listening chops anymore that I used to have. I'm like sitting here and I'm like, am I thirsty? And I go get a water and I come back and I sit down and I'm listening and I'm like, oh, I gotta go put some laundry in. And then I run and put some laundry in. I sit back down and I listen to it and I'm like, oh wait, I gotta check my phone for something. And I just don't like have headphones on and just like go punk, this is what I'm going to do right now. Like I
Yeah.
can't, it's hard for my attention span. And I don't know if it's my age or the modernness of how we do things,
I'm.
but you are
and
practiced. Like you
this is-
literally listen to music.
But this is not an insult to you.
No,
but,
it should
but
be.
some people just stop enjoying that. And it doesn't mean that it's wrong. Like I do it because I literally look forward to
Right.
it and love
Yes. Yes.
just
Yes.
sitting down
Yes.
and listening
Yes.
to music.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, if somebody else doesn't still feel the same way, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's as long as they got something that makes them feel something
Sure.
great.
Yes.
But with me,
I just need a comfy fucking chair. And I want to look like that fucking Memorex guy.
oh yeah,
With the chair and the speakers. If I had that, it would be. But we live in a shoebox, and there's just too much shit going on in this apartment. You're very lucky, and I mean that as a compliment. Not like,
Oh, I
you're
know-
so
I know
lucky.
I'm lucky.
No,
Like, I'm-
okay, yeah, yeah, like it's cool,
Like-
and I really admire the fact that you've stuck that. You know what I mean? Because I will say too, no marijuana and stuff for years and years and years is also like just. Like, because when I got high, I could go inward, and then I could put something on, and I could go. So anyway,
I used to feel that way with alcohol.
Okay.
Like when I quit drinking, I was like, am I going to lose that weird connection that I have sometimes when I get a little buzzed and the music feels like it's like
right,
like part of me or whatever.
Yes,
And it still happens though. It still happens.
Okay,
I've noticed
cool.
that it
Yeah.
still happens. It has nothing to do with any substance. For me, it doesn't have anything to do with any substance.
Sure.
It just has to
Sure.
do with like all the elements around me being in the right form. I don't know. There are just like certain moments that like I will just find myself getting swept away in some sound, and I can't explain why it happens at those certain points, but I feel like that's part of my love of listening to music is I'm constantly chasing that feeling.
right,
And now,
okay.
now that I know that has nothing to do with alcohol or drugs,
Right,
I'm
even
even
better.
more like chasing
I
it.
know.
Like
Yeah,
so.
and I got mad at myself because like I didn't start any kind of drugs or any of that kind of stuff till I was 25. And I loved music since I was like a fucking little kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my dad had 45s. that
Yeah,
were
well, I
him.
mean, if you
know
go
what I
back
mean?
to
And
when
it's
I was
like-
listening to this album, I was 14. I didn't do shit.
Right, right. Yeah, exactly. And I felt like, man, anyway. So this is a beautiful journey to be on, really, and I'm really enjoying it. And so thank you very much for that kind of stuff. But yeah, man. That's great. Okay, where are we at? Grit. Don't have time for you.
That's the little acoustic one. That's a
Oh,
little.
yes, dude. Yes. I was like, this one feels different. Nice tempo, nice jangles. I like how he sings this one.
He
That
sings
was
it,
great.
but my favorite
Dude,
part of that, my favorite part of that song is the end of it. It gets completely engulfed in noise, and you're just like, "What the fuck?" It's so
yeah.
fucking noisy
Yes.
at the end of that.
It's like it's not, it's like that's the one where that just goes, oh,
Like
and it's like
like
there's another,
like his voice and all the other instruments start
everything
disappearing.
disappearing into a wall of fucking noise. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was fucking cool, man.
yeah.
I was way into that. Like they heard they're giving you the most sensitive kind of like melodic thing that they have, and then they just bury it. They
Plus,
just
plus, it's
bury it
like
at the
it's a
end.
softer song, but all the lyrics are like, I don't
Yeah,
care what you're doing
I don't care
now.
what
I
you
don't
say.
care to help you out.
Oh yeah, that was the one that had one of the ones that had lyrics.
Well, you can hear you hear them. Yeah.
Well, sure, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I found the lyrics to this one to be perfect for the internet age. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't care anymore. I just don't care anymore. Yeah. So good kicking was good. Hot salad. That's a joke, right? On
Hot
come together.
hot salad was just like a
Little minute and a
yeah. It's
something.
just it's
But
just a
that's a
little
riff on
interlude.
come together, correct?
Is
That's
it?
got to be what they're doing. Dong, dong, do, do, dum,
Oh, could be. Yeah, it could
dong,
be.
dong, do, do. Okay, I thought that "Come Together" is a good title, and I thought "Hot Salad" is also a good riff on "Come Together," and I thought that obviously I'm not in their heads or whatever, but
Yeah.
that was a cool little, and I love little asides like that. I
Yeah.
just love it when a band, because that's what another thing that's cool about the Fudge Tunnel EP is that there's samples and shit in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That they throw and it's like whoop, 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 whoop. It makes you feel like you're kind of part of something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And then Creep Diets, the song Creep
and then
Diets.
Creep Dice, and I said I think I like heavy music as a spice and not the main course. I think I love, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
love for it to be there, and I do really enjoy it. But I'm going to say I would listen to this record again and would keep to listening to this record. If I owned the thing, I would put it on. I'd probably take it in the car and I would drive around with it. And that would be when I would, like I'd be on Lakeshore Drive or some shit. And this would come on. I'd be like, I would attack. You know what I mean? I would attack. Because I don't know if that's how you used to function with music as a kid. But when I could get it in the tape deck and it was in my car.
I still love listening to music in the car, but that's not my primary way. But yeah,
Yeah.
when I was in my 20s, I drove so much that my
Yes.
car was
Yeah,
a
you drive all the
huge,
time.
because not only was I driving to and from work, to and from band
Yeah.
practice, to and from
Yep.
shows,
Yep.
to
Yep.
like it
Yep.
was
the grocery
and
store. I mean,
you
what
you had the
fuck? You
fucking
just
thing of CDs
yes,
in
the
your
booklet,
car.
the booklet,
Yeah.
the booklet. Yeah.
So
Totally.
that was a listening in the car was a huge deal. Plus, it was like the one place I felt comfortable singing along to stuff.
Same. You
Because
feel,
I've always
in the-
been too self-conscious to like actually sing most of the time. I don't like
Sweetie, your voice is really nice.
No, thank you, but
Yeah, okay.
I'm not big on that.
So stuck. This one has a great feel. It's very verse chorus oriented to me.
Yeah.
This one was one of the most verse chorus. And I react favorably to the verse chorus setup. Even though I have no idea what he's saying, I felt swept into that chorus for some reason. That had a very strong chorus to it. And then Always is the last one, right? And
Yeah, which is more of like a lo-fi, punky
yeah.
kind of vibe on that one.
Right. I was like, whatever is happening here is marvelous and noisy.
Yes.
I really enjoyed that one. That one brought me in really nice. And then I was like, overall, this album was vibey and played with confidence and competence, and it sounded really good. So, I mean, thank you for that.
Yeah,
But I
sure.
did like the other kind of thing better.
All I know,
If
all
I had
know-
to pick.
all I know is that like every time I look at this, I just remember like staring at this fucking album cover.
I love the Venus flytrap.
It's
The
colors of it.
Yes. it's-
Everything about it. I just really
yes.
love this album. cover.
Ooh, does it look good in a black light?
I don't know.
It looks like it would look good in a black
I have the poster flat up here. You know, they used to sell those poster flats or for
Oh,
like
sure.
record stores. I got that up there. on
Wait,
my
did
wall.
you did they have those they had to have had those at Best Buy? The poster flats?
Sometimes.
Yeah,
We
at
didn't
Streetside.
we didn't have anything cool like Fudge Tunnel, but yeah.
Oh man, those things would. Oh right. You weren't getting those poster flats.
No, if we got poster flats at Best Buy, it would have been like Garth Brooks or Riverdance or some shit. I remember I worked at Best Buy during the height of Riverdance. And everyone coming in.
I saw it live. Did you see it live?
No.
It was quite a deal. It came to Chicago, and boy, was it here.
They all had legs.
For a long time. Man, it was, whoa, that was something to see.
Yeah.
Springing every now and then. They'd spring someplace, and then
Yeah.
do.
Amazing.
Yeah, nice.
Well,
so we had, at Street Side, we got them all the time because we had those, we had big, like bulletin boards basically.
Oh, okay.
For the length of the store, and then it was all like and then there was like create the best display and win a contest and stuff. Like the label would like issue these contest things or whatever.
Yeah, and that's the kind of shit that I wish I could have been involved in. I wish I had worked at a cool record store in the '90s. Best Buy was not a cool record store.
Well, I mean, honestly, though, when Best Buys first came out and you could get all of that shit in one building.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I went to those things.
Yeah, it was all right.
Because you could get whatever you needed there.
That's true.
Copy paper.
Toner.
Anyway, toner. Fuck yeah. Any specialty cord. Oh, so nice. All right. Well, that's that. How do you want to close up Fudge Tunnel in your book right now for this episode?
Just say we're done. I don't know. Do you have any parting words? They're literally like I've now like my top 5 favorite bands like always like feels like it's fluctuating, but now I think I've pretty much solidified that there are 4 bands that will always and forever be in my top 5, and then one that's usually there, but I don't know. What are we doing?
Well, are you gonna do them?
You want to guess?
Well, Metallica's in there.
They're in there. They're number 1.
Genesis.
No. I love Genesis, but no.
Oh, they're not in there?
Not in my top 5. No.
Wow, your top 5. Are they all thrash bands?
No.
Madonna.
No, Madonna is not.
You love Madonna.
I do. I love a lot of music.
You love Madonna.
I'll save you this pain.
Go for it.
Metallica, Nirvana.
Oh, Nirvana. Do that. Jawbox.
Uh-huh. Fudge Tunnel.
And then there's a 5th one.
Right now the 5th is, I would say, Anthrax is in there as my number 5.
Okay.
Or Faith No More. Fuck. See what I'm saying?
I think it's going to be Faith No More.
I think
it would be Faith No More. I think really it's Faith No More.
Yeah, I think it is Faith No More. Do you know a lot of Faith No More? Is that one that I could recommend to you, or do you know that band?
I don't really know that band. I liked the "We Care a Lot About the." What's that?
Oh, that's the
early stuff. Yeah,
that's Chuck Mosley stuff.
Chuck Mosley, Chuck Mosley. I was kind of drawn to them at
Love
that point.
Early stuff.
Yeah, and then when that
well, I mean, that's not how that's how you sing.
No, he's totally sang like that. He totally sang like that.
He is very nasally on that album.
Yeah, so we opened for them during that.
You did?
Tour.
You opened for Faith No More also?
Fuck yeah!
I would.
We were a big fish in a small pond.
So earlier when we were chatting on texting, and like I was like, oh, that Death Puppy, that sounds like a cool band name. And then I was like, wait, how have I heard that before? I'm like, oh, Smurl was in Death Puppy. So here's the thing, your first 20 something years of your life is you had the life that I wanted. Because think about this. You were in Death Puppy in the early 80s.
In the early 80s.
Which is like full on punk, old school punk band.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Then you were in Face First. I'm going to give you a compliment that now that I've listened to another punky thing that you really like. Face First is way better than Social Unrest. That 7-inch that you sent me is way better than any of this stuff. I liked this stuff.
Okay.
But so you were in a Face First, fantastic band. You were the vocalist of that band.
No, it was a great band. The Richard, Darren, and Jason were great.
Then you grew your hair out and you got into Kill Whitey. And you were the guitar player in Kill Whitey.
Yeah.
And I think you did some vocals too, right? In Kill Whitey.
Really, just a little bit, but not much.
and then you cut your hair again, and you became the vocalist again in Stick,
And Stick. Yeah.
and you got to be part of the sign to a major, get a video on MTV, even though it was just a little dip of a toe.
Just a little dip, just a little toe.
That whole trajectory, I'm just like, that's what I wanted to live. And I was born
You
too
had
late.
your own version. No, you had your own version of that. Though,
No,
right?
because if you go to fucking Discogs, all Smurls bands are on Discogs. One of my bands is on Discogs only because we were on a compilation at one point. But you can't. I'm not in bands that you can go find and people are like, hey, remember this band? It's all just like, we can't find anything regarding that band. Because I was in fucking nobody bands that went nowhere, that not even regionally were we popular. Like,
Really?
No.
You were on. Come on, you're on the cable access and shit, and you're rocking out, and you're doing your
Cable
thing. Like,
access
didn't
is
you-
literally you just ask to come on.
Wait, you,
Like there's no so what I'm trying to say is that like
yeah, but you grew up in Austin, dude. That was hard, wasn't it?
no.
It's got to be hard in Austin.
Oh,
That's
to make it as a
music
musician?
town.
Well,
That's a music.
It was also
fucking
hard because
town.
I didn't want to play blues rock. So no,
And
it was
and
very
it's
hard for me to do
specifically
that.
music. Yeah, no, of course.
So I just think about all these bands and I'm just like, man, I envy like you having those experiences, like everything down to that fucking perfect face first 7-inch, just a perfect little punky 7-inch. There's something about that that's so perfect. And I'm just like, that's the kind of thing to be involved in.
Sure.
Like, that's cool as fuck. But anyway.
It was perfect to be involved in.
But then on
And
top of
because-
that, we talk about all these bands that you got to open for, Faith No More and
oh sure,
Hum and
but I mean when you maybe Hum,
maybe Hum.
but when you live in a little town,
Yeah.
all those bands have to drive through Kansas to get some to either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so they have to play somewhere, and they go to Lawrence because that's where the university is, or Kansas City, and
Which
when
Kansas City though?
Well, that is true. Probably a lot. Kansas City, Missouri.
Because if you're anything like me, you didn't know until recently that there were two Kansas cities.
it's that little river there in the corner. Yeah, right. Why Kansas is not rectangular altogether is because it's Kansas City, right? But you just have, and all you had to do was get popular in that little town, and if you could get 250 people to show up, the promoter would put you on because they would know that was already,
which my bands could never do. We could never, like, I think the biggest crowd I think we ever played for was because we were opening for bands. We got lucky enough to play with a couple of like up and coming and kind of popular indie bands.
okay, great. Have us too.
But we were like first band out of 4. So we were the band playing when they were coming in and paying at the door and then going to the bar. That's
okay.
So, but if we ever played a show where we had to be the draw, I mean, I've been in a band where there's 2 separate instances. One of them, I remember playing a show where only the bartenders were there. That was it.
Same. That's awesome.
And then I remember playing a show.
They're like, you know what I mean? You're just like,
I remember when I played a show
Yeah,
that
right.
they came before because we got booked on some show and during the week and we were asked to play last and we went, oh, that's not a good sign. And before we ever even went on, they came and apologized and told us that not only can we not pay you, but we can't give you any more free drinks.
oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
So I've been there in like
what are
this.
we even doing here?
Yeah. It was just a rehearsal on a stage with a sound system.
Yeah, sure. Which counts. You know,
Which was so much of my life, and like I would have given anything to play in a room with people that loved what I did, even
So
if
are
it
you
was
trying to tell me that there
50
were-
people.
Okay, that was literally the number I was going to say.
No, we never had
Did
that.
not have 25. 10.
There have been a few shows where maybe we had about a dozen people at different times in
That
my
knew
life
who you were
that knew who we were and liked our
And
stuff.
knew some songs you played.
Yes,
And would come up to the front of the stage
sometimes.
and knew a couple of words here or there. and would
Sometimes,
be like,
yes.
yeah, this
Yes.
one. Okay.
but never enough to where like the entire front of the stage had people. It was no.
Okay.
It was always that awkward thing where one person's like, "I'm going to come stand right in front of you." I'm like, "But
Right.
there's nobody else here. Can you go somewhere else?"
Right.
But anyway,
Right.
but it's just I don't have any. I'm still kind of disappointed, but I've kind of gotten over that. But then I meet people like you, and I go, "Well, that's cool as fuck because like you got to do what I wanted to do." But I
Okay.
almost feel like if I got that chance, I still would have wanted it to be short lived because I don't know. I don't think I
Oh,
would have been a
dude.
good career musician. I don't think I think I would have succumbed to drugs and alcohol, depression, who knows what.
And I've been tired of going, look at me, look at me. You know, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
like
can't.
whatever.
Well, that's a big reason why, like,
Yeah.
I don't think I made it because I feel like I had I was relatively talented,
Sure. Yes. Yes. No,
but
totally.
I didn't know that I was dealing with anxiety and depression. I did not know
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I just looked at myself and went,
Duh, you're a
why,
musician.
why can I not go out there and
Right.
mingle and sell myself like I see all these other people doing? Why
Sure.
can't I do that? There's
Sure.
something wrong with me. And
Okay.
so I figured if I didn't have those problems, I could have gone a little bit further because I would have had no problem just selling my band and going up to people. And because the internet was the best thing that ever happened because that's how we got on cool shows finally. Because I literally sent an email to a band on Discord and said like, I love you guys. You're coming through. Can you get us on the show? And then they did. This band Q and Not You that was on Discord.
Okay.
They literally just put us on their show because I wrote them and asked them, but it was because I didn't have to walk up and talk to anybody. I literally just sent them an email.
Well, like the promoters and stuff, you mean?
No, them.
Okay. Oh, well, they were a touring act, so I'm assuming that walking up to a touring act and asking them, "Can I be on your show?" is a harder thing to do than walking up to a local.
Well, I mean,
To a lo-
independent
and-
touring acts, they just toured in a van. Like it wasn't like they had
No,
management.
that's
there.
what I'm saying. But you had to have had promoters, correct?
No.
Show promoters.
Oh well,
In,
we did
in Austin,
yes, yeah.
in Austin, and you
And
so
we
you-
went through
and so-
them. We went through them sometimes as well. But I was never the guy going to talk to them because I just couldn't get myself to go do it.
Okay, well,
I would feel
didn't have a
panicky.
problem doing that.
You
I
didn't?
didn't have a problem doing that. Not doing that.
No, I would literally feel panicky and not know why. I literally because there was no conversation about anxiety or anything, and so I had no
Right.
idea. I had no idea why I was feeling the way I was feeling, and I thought that there was just something wrong with me. Well, there was, but it wasn't. I didn't know it was anything.
Okay, but when you and that really cool thing that you put about the garage party that you played with your band, whatever, there was that little kind of history of old head
Yeah,
video
yeah.
that you put together that was really cool and really captured what how it starts.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, but like, so you were not a person who took that as a success. And then just went and played the next party, and then played the next party, and then played the next party.
At that
and
point in my
then-
life, yes.
okay.
And when
So
I was
that's-
a
uh-huh.
teenager in that first band,
Right.
I did so I think it was a combination of things. I think it was not only my own mental health, but also I put myself out there in this band and then a band right after it only to have other people in the band fuck it up. And so I think I got discouraged also because then all of a sudden it was like, I tried the best to be like the driving force of this band. And in my first band, I was the driving force. I wrote everything. I put the band together.
Sure.
But then it just fell apart. And I was just like, this sucks because it's like, I just felt like, no matter what I do, I can't control the fact that I could get a great band together and then half the band doesn't want to go to rehearsal. I'm just like,
Totally.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
anyway,
Right,
it was just
right,
it was a
right.
lot of things all happening that really kept me from having any kind of ego, which I needed. I needed to be able to go sell myself and be like, you should put us on your show because we're fucking
Right.
great or whatever.
Right. And
My
I think
my
people
attitude was like, if you guys have room, if you don't mind, like maybe we'll play. We're not really that good. Like that was literally me all the time.
never mind. We're not that good. Never mind. I don't know why I'm here. I'm just gonna go. I'm sorry.
I'm not kidding you. That would have been
Oh, come
me.
on. Really?
Yeah, I was so just
Oh,
like
dude.
it was almost like it was embarrassing for me to like be confident. Like I found it
Oh,
embarrassing.
sure. Well, because a lot of people who are confident are dickheads.
Yeah. So
Which
I
is
don't know.
fine.
Either
Which is
way,
fine. They're
either
also
way.
very talented and they get something done that you enjoy. And congratulations. Be a dickhead, I guess. I don't want to meet you,
Yeah,
but I mean,
there are
yeah,
some
yeah.
dickheads that I love what they do, but it's
Sure.
like,
Oh,
but
100%.
but
100%.
um, but anyway,
Okay.
the point I was trying to make is that like all these things that you did, I look up to you in those kind of ways because I'm like you did the
Well,
shit.
okay, but I think that the key, if I have to think about the conversations we've had, what really, I was, I totally had friendship with the people in the band. Like we were a gang,
Yeah,
a crew. Like we were, that's what, like I guess was just very fortunate to
yeah,
be and so when you are tight and everyone is doing their thing, you go, I want people to see us.
yeah,
And you're up there as a unit.
yeah.
You know
I
what I
never,
mean?
I was,
And I
not,
think that that was missing from you because you've literally said you did not have that.
no,
Like you were friends with,
there was never. I mean, I was friends with some people in bands, and I had some close friends,
yes,
but
yes,
I
yes.
never got up on a stage and felt confident. Never, not one time.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was
But I
gonna
mean, like,
have
not
diarrhea
confident in
every
the
single
band.
time.
Like, I didn't think
Yeah, okay,
we're
but the
going to get
band
up
I
there and
knew we
we're going to
were.
rule. No, I never felt that
Okay,
way
yeah,
once.
you said yeah, you said you didn't edit and you did. Well, no, you said maybe once. There was a maybe one time you did that. I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember. Anyway,
there may have been, but overall, like,
I'm not saying you're lying.
it
That's
was
not what
not
I'm
a
saying. I'm
regular
just
thing.
okay. Yeah,
Anyway,
I mean that was the thing that was I had that experience with the dudes
yeah,
and Kim, the people, the humans that were I in bands with. I do, yeah. So I don't know.
and
Maybe that, huh?
and you were saying that you was it Death Puppy that played with Social Unrest? You said,
Yeah. I know that I have a death puppy. Well, first of all, I saw Social Unrest during the SU 2000
oh,
tour.
which is their first album, first full
No,
length.
this. Oh, yes. Well, yes. Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
So the SU 2000 tour was awesome, and there's the new singer. Well, we'll go into that, but basically I know that I've seen Social Unrest and Death Puppy on the same page,
Yeah.
and I think here's why. There was a magazine out of fanzine out of I think Tulsa called Dry Heave. May have also been out of Norman because I think the guy's. Well, I know the guy's name was Dave Follis. He was like a head. I've probably talked about this dude before. He was like an not an alpha as in a dick alpha, but just like obvious. He was just obviously cool. He just had the thing. You know
Yeah.
how sometimes people have a thing, and you're like, oh god damn it, dude, you do everything really good. You know what I mean? And it's just
Yeah.
like. And because you're kind of just drawn to them or whatever, and you like they'll sit there and talk to you, and you'll just listen to them because you're like, "Wow, you're fucking cool, man." This is like,
Yeah.
this is awesome. So, but anyway, he had a magazine called Dry Heave, and Death Puppy is in the issue that Social Unrest is on the cover of,
Yeah.
and so I think that's what I think. NOTA, None of the Above, which are fucking fantastic band from Oklahoma. If you ever get a chance to hear them, they opened that show. So that was my association. But Death Puppy has an interview in the same
Oh, okay.
magazine. So
Gotcha.
yeah. But I do vividly remember that show because I am a California band person. I have two essences that sweep over me that just will take me as a uh, white male rock listener would be the English bands for some reason. I just feel like, oh, there's like a vibe about living in England and whatever that must be that I don't know what it is, so I fill it in with my imagination. And
Yeah,
for some reason, they've got this thing that a Midwesterner from Topeka, Kansas just does not have.
yeah,
And then the other thing is is the standard American love one of the coasts. If you're a Midwesterner or Southerner to some extent, I probably less Southerners because you have the South, because the South really identifies with itself as being cool.
well, not me, but yeah.
Well, but I mean, anyway, as far as like, I'm
If I
sure
if
that
I had
Indi
to if I had to pick one, it would have been California probably because like that's where the thrash bands were from the Bay Area, the big ones of the time. So
yes,
yeah,
yes, and these guys are from the Bay Area.
yeah, San
Social
Francisco.
Unrest.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, wait, are we talking about them now?
yeah,
Oh, okay. So this is the thing where I tell you how I found them.
yeah,
Oh, okay. So I'd have to say that the California style, it was a little more melodic than the New York style.
yeah.
I liked the New York style, but there was a toughness that came with New York that was too intimidating to me, and I knew I was never gonna
Wh-
like if those
Which
guys wanted
is
to fight me, they would just fucking destroy me. Like when Agnostic Front came through town and played, wow, and they were just like I was the skinhead guys and just totally ripped up, tattooed, looked like prison people, you know what I mean? And they just
yeah,
like played this, raw, they were in your face. I was like, whoa, like
yeah.
it was intense to see,
But
but I
eventually in
wasn't gonna go
Cal
try to hang out with them.
yeah, well, eventually in California, you ended up with like the Suicidals and stuff like that. So
Yes,
those were tough
yes,
guys,
very tough guys.
but their
Yes, right.
music wasn't quite so tough guy. It was very, I don't know, didn't
Yeah,
seem
I mean
as
the
tough guy
whole.
to me.
I mean, we had the Suicidal Cowboys in Oklahoma, which was kind of a joke on the suicidal tendencies. You know, there was a Psilocybal Cowboys. There was a group of guys who were predominantly in. To those who don't know, was born in Kansas, but lived in Oklahoma for almost 4 years, and formative years, junior, senior year in high school, and then a year in a community college trying to figure out what the fuck. But um, uh, there was a group of guys who were in Oklahoma because they were in the military
Uh,
and they were stationed at like Tinker or whatever. They were in the military and they would get out on leave or whatever and they would come to shows. So they already had the close cut hair and they would just throw on the headband and flannel shirts, button them here, and just put on the boots that they already owned from the military. And they would come to shows and they were wild.
yeah,
These dudes were, they were wild and they were into fighting and they would huff. You know what I mean? They were always like trying to get and they were rad, just rad guys. But I always felt like they're just gonna go like you fucking, and then they were just gonna beat the shit out of me. Like I felt like, and I did because I don't have it. What was I gonna do?
yeah,
This gangly tall kid, I don't quit hitting me. You know,
yeah,
I just basically start crying. So I wasn't gonna hang out with those, but you can hang out with like the California style person because they were a little more into being, hey man, they're from California. And you know what I mean? And not that that wasn't intense, but there was a thing about the bands from California that seemed a little more laid back, and their music was just a little less testosterone.
yes, yeah,
Not that it didn't exist, but I'm just saying there was a surf quality. Like if you listen to anyway, so the show was awesome, and when I saw and I gotta say, when most people in the Midwest got a hold of this record early on, and
uh,
this was, uh, of course, there were detractors from Maximum Rock and Roll. There were
yeah,
people who were like, "Hey, Maximum Rock and Roll is even part of the system, so fuck them." You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, don't make my scene sound like you and whatnot or whatever. And I get it because there was a lot of politics involved in Maximum Rock and Roll, and
Well, wasn't the problem with Maximum Rock and Roll was there was a whole lot of finger pointing of like about what is and isn't punk or something like that, you know?
well, finger pointing. No,
Like this
there was
band's
not a
not punk.
finger.
This, you know,
No, well, no. I feel like the guys that started it, the crew here, this Ruth and the other guys, I feel like they were a little older.
oh,
Like they were
okay,
a little older, and they
yeah,
may have come out of like the tail end of the 60s revolution feeling kind of shit, you know what I mean? And then they were into the politics and they wanted revolution and change. And I feel like, they would like talk about vegetarianism and about how animal cruelty is in the industrial meat industry and all this stuff was bad. And so
Yeah.
and then people were like, oh, quit preaching, just play. There'd be this whole like, are we gonna make a change or are we gonna just fucking be nihilistic? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Which
It
is
was
fine.
it was
Both of,
it was literally like the same shit going on today where you have these people who claim to be into punk rock but they're right wingers. And I was like
or something like that.
you had the fucking people that back in the 80s that were like into punk but for some reason they also thought Reagan was cool.
Well, what they thought was that white people were cool.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
That's what they thought. And because like I feel like the punk rock movement is it's a microcosm of the entire. You had the people that were very into politics, very into social change, very into progressive thinking, very into just changing the system. And then there was those who were going to change the system from within the system, or they were going to change the system from without the system. But there was a bend to be moral in a way that
Yeah.
lent itself to you're being preachy or something like that. You know what I mean? And we don't want da da da. So, but then there was just there was the total druggies, just a complete druggies. And then the artists, and these all blended, they weren't like total segregated. People had parts of it, but then you had the skinheads, and the skinheads were generally like like the ones we had in Kansas. They were like mid-American patriots. That's what they were called, and they
Yeah.
were fucking fine if you're just hanging out with them or whatever. There were like many of them were friends or whatever, but if it got off into some weird talk about something, then it was like okay, like I don't really, I okay. Like I don't know. I don't want to listen to Hitler tapes. I don't want to read about what he had to say. I don't want to know about the white race or whatever. I don't care. Like I
Yeah.
just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm glad you're nice to me and you're nice to your girlfriend and you feel like there's a discipline to being the golden rule or something. But you need to fucking get off this race thing because it's just not. And then not all of them were that way either. There were anti-racist skins too. So like it was
Which I've always gone on record and said that's confusing as fuck. Just get a different look.
well, right, because apparently in the beginning it was a ska thing.
Yeah, I've
Get a
I've
different look, dude.
I've
Get a
heard
different
I've
look,
heard
dude.
I've heard
Right,
people
right.
talk about
Yeah, yeah.
like the differences between these different skins, and I'm just like, but they seem like the same people. Like they seem like they're probably all shitty people, but they're one's on a shittier side of things and one's on a better side of things. But they all seem like once you have to get into a point where you're like, I have to have a look. I have to be militant about certain things. Like I'm just like, I don't care what your ideology is. I'm just like, the ideology should be, do unto others as they, literally let everybody be who they are. You be who you are, and you don't need to be in a gang of 12 people that look just like you in order to make a difference. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
But,
Totally. Yeah. But anyway, I hesitate to say anything negative about a group of people. I even for skins, I gotta say there were a lot of them that were anti-racist skins, so yeah, why be a skin? I don't know that it did. I know my head looks like this now, but that's out of necessity.
But that's the same thing as people that will have a swastika on a shirt and be like, well, it didn't originate as a Nazi thing. I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Well, no, unfortunately, right. I mean, yes, or that little mustache. Which is fucking cool as shit, but you can't have it anymore no matter how much you like the Charlie Chaplin. You can't have the Charlie Chaplin because
shit. Nobody
Charlie Chaplin?
Charlie Chaplin didn't look good.
Yes, he did. You can't. I'm not advocating for Hitler. I am not advocating for the Nazis, but I'm just saying he had that mustache first, that little bowler and his little cane. That was awesome. The tramp, he was awesome.
I don't know.
And by the way, the swastika, I'm gonna have to tell you, is of course one of the most ancient symbols. And God damn it, if that guy didn't fucking ruin it.
Yeah.
Ruin it.
That's what I'm saying.
Ruin
Like
it.
I understand
Ruin
that
it.
like that's not what it originated as.
Not, it was the
But
opposite.
but when something
It's a symbol of,
when something becomes known
ruined it.
worldwide as a
I know,
symbol of
ruined it.
something,
Ruined it.
just find a different symbol with the
Yeah,
same
you're
thing.
gonna have to try.
Just like
No,
move
totally.
the fuck on. It's like
Yeah.
like I can't imagine being that tied to something that you're like, well, I have to use it. Why? Why could you use a different symbol? Do you do something? Why do you even need a symbol? Just fucking make a shirt that
Well,
says
sure.
no racism or whatever. Like you don't need a
Why
symbol.
would you even need a symbol? No, true. True. Well, hey, man, that's a total philosophical debate about humankind.
But those are the kind of conversations we get off on, and we get off on them also on someone's Bonums.
Summum Bonum, which is great or good, which is like the opposite of the Nazis. Swastika.
Exactly.
Okay, so look, side one, track 2, Social Unrest, Their Mistakes. This song is great.
Yeah.
And it gives you that feel of the guy who sings the song. You know what I mean? And he was Cretan Chaos, man, and he was cool as shit.
So he's the second. That's the second singer.
That's the first singer. The first singer.
Got it.
So I got into this band because of that song, this is a Who's Fucking Who.
Yeah, there's something to be said about compilations back in the day, like just being so important,
so packed.
Yeah.
This was the advertisement. This was the internet.
Yeah.
I don't have the magazine, unfortunately, but the magazine itself was issue number 1, and it says right here, good question. For answers, go to this info on all the bands and prize-winning essay on the punk scene to date. See the lavishly produced magazine inside, which is a joke because it was on newsprint. It was not lavishly produced.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can go.
That's the one reason why I never read Maximum Rock and Roll, because I'm like, it's gonna come off on my fingers.
Oh, your fingers. No, it is. It did. You had black Maximum Rock and Roll.
I was like, I'm gonna buy Flip Side instead. It's got a glossy cover.
Right. Yes. It's got, right. Totally. But so I gotta say, and the scene reports from like that, you could write in a scene report from your state, town, whatever, and they would just publish the fucking thing. And if you sent them your record, they reviewed it. Like, did not review it. They just reviewed the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And if they just found someone who would write 15 words or whatever, but you'd put your fucking address.
Yeah.
In the magazine, and bands and kids would write you from Europe, from the Eastern Bloc. Do you understand? Like, this was weird. This was like, it was weird, and it was a fucking amazing thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
So
that seems like it. So that was your intro to the band. Was that
that
song?
was my intro into that band, and then shortly thereafter,
Okay.
Rats in a Maze.
Okay.
Rat in a Maze.
Well, we can.
So this is the one I sent you.
We can talk about Rat in a Maze.
Which is, I sent you this one. This one also features Cretan Chaos.
Yes.
And it is a fast little number that clocks in probably under 15 minutes total. I don't even know.
Pretty short.
It's pretty short. Just a couple songs, 45 RPM.
Well, of course, it's 12-inch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 45 RPM. So, and then after this, Cretan left the band, and then they made the transition into the new singer. And then a lot of people didn't follow him, but I, for some reason, was like, I'm fine with the guy. Like people who were just fine with Sammy Hagar, I'm fine with the guy. He sounds enough like the other guy. He's trying to do this vocal jive, whatever that Cretan did, but he was a little more melodic.
Yeah.
He was a little less charismatic, in my opinion, but he pulled it off.
Yeah.
And then
That's the one thing. Since we can stop on Rat in a Maze, because I'll talk about that album,
please,
or the EP, because it's like that. It's out of the two, it's so weird. First time I listened to these, I liked Before the Fall more than I liked Rat in a Maze.
Okay. And
then the second time around, it was the opposite, where all of a sudden I felt something happened with this. I don't want this keyboard. But I think it's because the sound on Rat and Amaze from my, I don't have like limited knowledge about punk rock, but I don't know all kinds of the lesser known bands. I know a lot of the
Sure.
well known bands, but I've heard enough to where I hear the sound on Rat and Amaze and I go, a lot of bands were doing this. A lot of bands were doing this sound
Of course, it was hardcore,
in 1982.
thrash hardcore. Yep.
But the more that I listened to it, I was like, I kind of thought to myself, okay, like imagine being a teenager and getting this record,
8th grade,
and playing this record, and I'm
right.
like, all of the songs have memorable qualities to them. That's the thing,
Yes,
is that they're
yes.
short. So like I wrote just little notes, like General Enemy, really catchy, fast punk rock song. I really like the fact that the chorus is in a major key, and he almost kind of sings a little bit in his own
Yes, he does.
shouty way.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool. I like what they're doing here. But then it gets to Red, White, and Blue, and it slows it down for a second. But the song structure of Red, White, and Blue is really cool because it gets faster and then it gets faster again. And then it goes right back to the beginning. And I always really like that when bands did that kind of thing, because I'm like, I like when something's like very jarring and like then all of a sudden it's like, I don't know, it's a cool song structure. And Thinking of Suicide, another short, fast punk song. But I feel like the vocalist on this makes really enjoyable choices with his wording.
Too. Thank you. Yeah. Yes.
With his like phrasing, I guess.
Yes.
But
phrasing,
he's bringing this aggression. He's very aggressive, but it's got enough character to it.
Yeah.
To where I feel like it helps, like when the guitars aren't necessarily doing anything super memorable, he might be, or vice versa.
Yes. And the bass.
And on the bass, yeah. And then Lord's Prayer, slower for the most part. I really like the vibe of Lord's Prayer, especially the chorus.
Yes, yes.
But that
the
rounds out
so key.
That rounds out like side A. Like that's
bam done. Yeah.
Done. And then, so here's where like I have a question from somebody that was in the punk scene. So side B starts. Mental Breakdown is like a fast, short one.
Almost the single from that. To be quite honest.
Oh, okay.
That was like almost the single from that. Mental breakdown happens every morning.
Yeah. Also, both of the vocalists have a weird way of pronouncing words where it's almost like they don't even know what accent they're doing. It's like I don't know what it is.
It's almost like the Ramones. Like it's that weird. And I think what's that guy from Green Day does that?
Billy Joe.
Billy Joe. Anyway,
who produced an album by Social Unrest.
Oh, great.
Did you know that?
Which one? No, I did not know that. Which one?
Okay.
Oh, the one where they got back together.
In the 90s.
Yes, I didn't hear that.
Produced by...
And it was Cretin that came back and sang on a song or two.
Was that the second guy?
Yeah, no, that was the first guy.
No, it was the second guy on that album, I think.
Oh, okay.
I tried to look it up. They have everything on a Bandcamp page. They have a Bandcamp page.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So they have represses of these things on vinyl and everything. Like they.
Oh, great! I should have bought you those. Are they expensive?
I didn't look, but I just know that they're available. In there. Anyway,
okay, all right.
So you get to Stab Me in the Back, which is another fast one and like the shortest one on the EP. But then it gets to I Love You, which like as soon as that started, I went, oh, okay, this is their Clash dub song.
It's like, PIL. Sounds exactly like this. That's not.
But also the Clash too.
Oh, totally.
And so like, this was in '82.
Yeah, the flange on the drums and all that shit and the echo.
It's a really cool, vibey way to end it and unexpected. Cool, but my thought was, in the punk scene in the early '80s, like, was that considered like kind of a sellout thing to be like, oh, you're doing this Clash type thing at the end of your album?
Thank you for asking this question. No.
Okay.
Yes. In fact, if you listen to DYS, Department of Youth Services from Boston, who is another tough band but very fucking cool, they had a song that was that's the chorus was, or well, the whole song was, "How much art can you take? How much art can you take?" You know what I mean? And they were doing that, and they were just tearing at a new asshole.
It's just
Like,
it's so
fucking
strange
fuck
to me
you.
that like in the
It's
punk
very
scene,
Yeah.
some things
Yeah.
early on were just
Yeah.
sort of accepted. Like, oh, of course,
Totally
this is
accepted.
this is a dub
Totally
style
accepted.
song or whatever.
Totally accepted. And then there's another one, DYS, who was the guy from that was the first singer in Dag Nasty. I'm forgetting his name right now. The
The
Dag
first singer
Nasty,
in Dag
the first
Nasty,
singer,
Scott,
yeah.
not Scott, Dave Smalley.
Dave Smalley. Yeah, they had an art ripoff
He was
song.
the first
Or
singer in
an
All,
art,
also.
yes, yeah. Because there was a band like No Trend, which is one full on one of there was a lot of noise. There was a lot of noise that was going on in punk rock, like just
Yeah.
noise. And then you would have noise parts. A lot of people would have noise parts, and then there was this dubby thing that was going on.
Yeah.
And it was not universally accepted, but it was all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, bands could do it.
Yeah, I just
bands could do
but
it.
it's a good way to end this. But also, like, just I kind of I miss there are bands today that still do this kind of thing where they just put out an EP on a 7-inch, and I still really enjoy that because there's something
Same.
about
Yeah, that'd be cool.
the immediacy and
Yes. Yeah.
also especially when it's like not very well produced and this band just like put what they had on a record. And there's something so cool about that. I never got to do that. I never,
Okay.
we did like a low budget album in one of my first bands. But even then, like it was just on a cassette and I don't know, it just didn't seem as cool to me. But anyway, but I really liked like Rat and Amaze. Like I'm like, if I was in into the whole punk rock thing when I was like a teenager, I could see how this would have been one that I caught onto because it does have really memorable things
Yes.
in it while still being like, hey, you're into punk, here, you're gonna like this.
Yes,
Doesn't
totally.
stray too far away from that kind of thing.
No, it has all the elements it needs to justify being in the scene.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it has all the necessary elements, and some of them are there's just a little extra touch of something on here. But
Yeah. But then, like after this one, they put out that first album, the first full length album,
SU
and
2000,
that
yeah, SU
is
2000.
when they switched vocalists.
Yes, and I think we texted back and forth about like there was a big legend and lore, like why did Cretan leave?
I didn't read anything about that.
Okay, and I thought maybe I was planning a text in my mind that I was going to send you, and I never did. But there was and it's weird that we even had stories about these guys,
Yeah,
because where were we getting it?
magazines. Somebody told it to a magazine.
Well, I guess so. Or they did a fanzine. Somebody in Oregon had a fanzine that no one ever read because there was only 100 copies made at Kinko's or whatever. But
Yeah.
like somebody said, "Oh yeah, I read this interview and da 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 da." Like I don't even know how that information. Like when we were little kids, it was like, "Oh, did you hear about Alice Cooper? He buries kittens up to their head in the sand and runs over them with a lawnmower." Where
Yeah.
the fuck did we know that? I mean, we just knew stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like that was just in the popular.
I guess because you could say, "Well, I saw it in the news," and people would just go, "Okay." Like you can just make shit up.
or anything. I know, but there seemed to be like unified stories. Like, do you like the amount of cum that was pumped out of Rod Stewart's stomach after some
The
gig?
big one, the big one when
like,
I was in when
right?
I was in
it's
high
like
school.
that hamster thing in fucking Richard Gere's ass. Like,
That
where
too.
does that even come from? Okay, yeah.
The big one when I was in high school was that Marilyn Manson had some of his ribs removed so he could suck his own dick. That was one of the rumors. Oh, and also the rumor was that Marilyn Manson was actually one of the little kids from the Wonder Years.
Oh
The
yeah,
Wonder
what was
Years.
that? I remember hearing
But
that.
it wasn't him.
It wasn't him.
No.
Okay. Well, anyway,
It's just pre-internet things that just become lore, even though they're fake.
Yeah. So it was interesting because I feel like there was a thing, like I think Minor Threat was one of the bands that was kind of involved in this. Hey, we're too popular now. Like we're too popular, so we're going to break up. That's not the point of what we're doing. The
Yeah.
point of is not to be popular, or the point is to do your thing. Like you were saying, don't be a rock star for a long time, or don't be a career musician. Just this is the band, and it's done. We did
Yeah.
our 2, 3 records, and we're over. It's a done deal.
Honestly, like if you watch, I mean, you may have been to one, I don't know, but if you watch footage of Minor Threat shows when they're when their last couple years together, because they broke up and got back together shortly.
Yep.
But if you look at the kind of shows they were putting on, I'm like, I would quit music for the rest of my life if I got to play a show with that kind of crowd reaction.
Oh,
Like
they're into it. Like that one where the PA doesn't work.
insane. Yeah.
That one where the PA doesn't work.
Yeah.
And every person knows every word.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just it's something magical. Like and that's even coming from somebody like out of the two bands, I'm more of a Fugazi fan, and Fugazi
Sure.
put on amazing shows. But there's
Amazing
something
shows.
magical about the Minor Threat shows.
Agreed.
Where it's just like you could be just as enthralled watching the crowd as you would be watching the band.
Yes.
And it's just
yes.
crazy.
Dude, I absolutely know that I missed the stuff that happened before me. I know, and
Yeah.
I'm never going to understand.
Which so did I. So yeah.
No, totally,
Yeah.
yes, completely, yes. But that is the thing that, okay, every person who is in their teens and has experiences something in their life experiences it. Okay,
Yeah.
people that are older think they get it, but they don't.
Yeah.
People that are too young think they know, but they don't. But
Yeah.
when you are, and I'm assuming it goes 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000. You know what I mean? I'm assuming that every group of kids who like is made the burn CD or made the mixtape or somebody did something that wasn't out yet, and
Yeah.
then like that fucking Embrace album. Dude, that thing was everywhere.
Yeah.
Like that tape, you would get a 70th generation fucking dub of that thing because it had to get out.
Yeah.
There was a thing that just happened because of the time. It just went off right there. And everyone that was right there, it just blah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I think with some of that stuff too, it's like you were saying too about when you were in bands in these smaller towns, because you're talking about Washington, D.C., and it's not like there was a big rock and roll scene in Washington, D.C. So it was also a time and place thing. Not only were there talented bands,
yeah.
and then somebody like Ian MacKaye at the helm who was like, I'm gonna start a label and blah blah blah, all this shit.
Yep.
But it was in this area where it was like people cared because it was theirs, and it wasn't like
it was theirs.
it wasn't they didn't learn about it on the TV or after the fact. Like it was like
they made it.
Yeah, they made it. And so it's like
They made it.
And I didn't get to experience anything like that. Like I was
you're breaking my heart. What do you mean you didn't have your version of this?
No. Fuck
you
no.
had your really, dude?
It's big. Look, so like the age that I came of age, I feel like I was born in a pretty good time, but I think it was just a handful of years too late. Like I feel like maybe I should have been born in like 75, maybe, and not 78.
Okay.
Because the last thing that I look at musically and I go, that was a scene, that was a vibe, that's something that would have been incredible to be a part of. I had to witness it from the outside because I was too young. So
what was that thing?
Grunge, alternative rock. Like
sure.
I would have loved to have been able to been in a club with a big crowd bouncing up and down to Nirvana. That's what I want to be able to have done. But I wasn't old enough to do that. By the time I was able to actually go to shows, Kurt Cobain was dead.
Yeah.
And from in my experience, as somebody who's continued to be a fan of music, the closest thing that there was in the late 90s. I was a little bit of a part of the second wave emo scene.
Oh, okay.
It was cool. There were some cool bands, but there was not this thing like, it didn't feel revolutionary. It didn't feel like,
It didn't.
no, not at all.
Really?
It was cool to be a part of these smaller bands because now, like,
Yeah.
my wife got into like emo music in the early 2000s when it was a very different
Sure.
thing. But because she did, all of the bands that she listened to all point to these bands that I went to go see. And so she has like a book of these bands, and I go,
Okay.
I saw like almost every band in that book. But nothing
yeah.
about those shows felt like, I don't look back on it and go, because there were really, it was Austin, so people fucking sucked. So it's like, so maybe if I lived in like New Jersey or somewhere
Or
in Wisconsin or Minneapolis, then
Yeah.
maybe the scene would have felt more exciting. But by the late 90s in Austin, everyone was already jaded. Everyone was already being it was all about popularity at that point. So it's like nobody would come see your band, but if you did get popular enough, people that didn't even like you before would now come to your show because you were popular. That was Austin. By the time I was in bands, that was Austin. And
Okay.
but you had little scenes, and there were some cool things going on, but nothing like the punk scene, nothing like the late 80s, early 90s alternative rock and grunge
Dude.
type scene.
Your music that you played
Yes.
was not dear to you.
No.
Like that. Come
Because I didn't
on,
get
it
to play.
had to have
I
been.
didn't get to play what I wanted to play. Like literally, like there. I've
Okay.
been in.
All right.
I've been in two bands
Uh-huh.
where I was writing the music that I just said fuck it, and I'm going to write the music that I want to play. That was my
Okay.
very first band and my very last band.
Okay.
All the shit in between, I was constantly having to deal with. Nobody I met wanted to make the kind of music I wanted to make.
Okay.
So I had to find a way to like be creative and make things that I did enjoy in a way that would work for whatever band I was in or whatever music was currently getting booked at emos or whatever. But like no, like it like there like I've written some songs where I go, oh, that was a good song. I'm proud of that, or I'm proud of
Right.
my performance on that.
Right.
But it was never a thing where I had a vision and people came with me on it. It was
Okay.
never that way.
And you were never in a movement of people that were doing something at the same time.
No.
Huh.
No.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
it's only because
Interesting.
it's only because I've always been such an outlier with like the music that I wanted to do that that like even if I had started a band in 1993 and I had said I'm going to do music that sounds like Fudge Tunnel, people weren't even wanting to listen to Fudge Tunnel. So
Right,
it's not
right,
like I was
right.
going to find my way into that stuff, but like especially when it came to heavy music once you got into the late 90s, that is nobody wanted to play that. Except for people that were all trying to be like Pantera or something like that. And I liked Pantera, but I never once wanted to make music like that. I never wanted to make thrash metal. I never wanted to do any of that stuff. I wanted to make weirdo, noisy, heavy music. That's what I wanted to make. And yeah, so it just never happened.
Okay.
But but I watched those old punk shows, old Black Flag shows or whatever, and I'm just like, God. And I say old Black Flag, but it's got Rollins as the vocalist.
Sure,
a lot of
sure.
people online look, that's not the real Black Flag.
No, I know.
And I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
well,
were-
he
I
was in
know.
the band for
Yeah.
quite a lot of years.
Yeah. I literally just I went to I mentioned I do that record listening group. It's called the Vinylites, and we get together like every other month or so, and we play records. And there's usually a theme. And last month's theme was covers. So bring 3 covers, and so
Like cover songs?
yeah, cover songs, but so that it just gives it some sort of structure or whatever. And so
Yeah.
the one I brought was one of the three I picked was Stick doing Drinking and Driving, because there's another guy in there who often plays bands that he's been in before that does
Oh,
stuff. I'm
okay.
like, okay, that's cool. I like it. Here, I'm gonna do it too, that kind of thing or whatever. So I played it, and it comes on, and I'm like, and there was even another Black Flag song, Depression, that somebody had played. So I know these guys. They're like they're steeped in from everything from like fucking Velvet Underground, MC5 Stooges, all the way up. They know all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like and knowing and then I'm like, huh, Black Flag, and they're like, everyone's looking at me like they don't know, and I'm like, yeah, Black Flag. So no one in this room just followed Black Flag to the end of their career or whatever. And like, no, man, as soon as Rollin got in the band, da 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 da, and you're just like, whoa,
That is like that
whoa.
is one of my biggest red flags.
Okay.
Like
Hey, I love these dudes, whatever. I get it. They get to have the opinion they want to have. But I
like
mean, I'm like, okay.
but it's not at some point it's not even an opinion. It's a posture where like
Well,
that
okay.
became the thing you're supposed to say is that
Yeah, but
like
people hated him from the beginning, though. Just to be clear.
which makes no sense to me.
Well, look, they liked everything up to Dez,
Yeah.
and then maybe they accepted
Damaged.
Damaged. But My War, when it got to side two, and those three long ass songs are on there, which I fucking
Which
loved.
I'm gonna bring up that album again in a minute, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Which is bizarre because if you like, I don't know. There's a part of me that goes, if you listen to My War and the whole album doesn't just like get your shit boiling, like it's so good, then I don't want to talk to you about music. It's like,
I mean,
it's
okay,
fucking
totally,
weird.
totally. Okay, no, totally, totally. But I mean, there's a line in the sand, and everybody's whatever. You know what I mean? So, but anyway. But where were we at with this thing? And I wanted to say one more thing you said though, if
Yeah.
I could say this
Yes.
about the mechanics. The noise dub noise thing was acceptable. The art aspect was acceptable. And two, the song that you said that you liked because it was like slow and then fast and then faster
Yeah.
and then slow. The mechanics, this music was under no circumstances was separate from playing live.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
reason it got made was so that you and your friends could go do it together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you and your friends' bands and da 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 da. The mechanics of the show, which became another rut and system and routine after a while, but when it first started and we were making up the rules to the whole thing, or just didn't have any rules to the thing yet, the fast, slow part that made the dancing go different.
Yeah.
The circle went different during that part. That was more of a everybody dropped into that
Yeah.
part.
And
you know what I mean?
And
then it went
another thing, I
ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
never got to experience that because I never played for a crowd. So if I was ever in a scene
but
where I'm
you were
like,
in
people
one,
are going to
right?
be there. What? Oh
You
yeah,
were
no,
in
I know
one,
what it's
right?
like to be in one, but I've never written a song being like, oh, all the kids are going to go crazy when they hear this riff. I'm just like, I hope somebody's actually there listening. Anyway, I don't want to go off on a woe is
time
me.
machine for you. I want a time machine.
Let's move on.
okay.
I want to
Okay.
touch on Before the Fall,
Okay, please do. Please do.
which is the second album they did with second full length album, but with the other vocalist. There you go, that one. They really like the red and white.
Yeah, and this speaking of symbols, they really love this symbol too. This circle cross thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the pixelated. Everything is pixelated.
The first when I first listened to this album, and the first song is Before the Fall.
Before that,
It's very clear that it's a different singer. Also, I looked up, it's mostly a different band. It's like the drummer and the guitar player are the only same people in the band from the other EP.
The drummer and the guitar player.
Yeah, one guitar player
Yes,
and one
Jim.
drummer.
Yes, yeah, but the main guitar
Yeah,
player, Norton or whatever.
everybody else is different.
Norwood.
But when I first heard this, I immediately thought about
Hmm.
Black Flag
Okay, because
because okay, from somebody who was in the scene, right?
hmm
Yes, yeah, oh, very nice, yeah,
okay, I'm just trying to make sure because you love to show off.
I love
It's
it.
like it's vinyl porn for you. So
Yeah,
I just wanted to, okay,
when I
go
am
ahead. Someone who's in the scene.
when My War by Black Flag came out,
Hmm.
had any other punk band done something similar to that before them? So this was 1984.
Had they played something slow like that?
Like slow, like immediately after that, Black Flag started to experiment with slower tempos and melody and other stuff like that. Were other punk bands already doing that, or am I right to assume that they were pushing the envelope and punks hated it?
Before My War came out, there was a compilation album that came out, and it was something like about rats or something. I can't remember. It was big. It was around. Everybody got it. Like the compilation album was, like you said before, the compilation album was very, very important
Yeah,
because you could get 25 bands or whatever on one of these punk things, and then it really introduced you to a lot of groups at one time. It was
yeah.
like a sampler or whatever, so
I mean, we had those kind of things in the 90s with punk bands too. So yeah.
yeah, and I have it down there someplace, and I didn't think to bring it because I didn't know where, but Scream was
Okay.
on it.
Yeah.
Okay, it was on it, and I'll scream
And that was prior to
in
My
your
War.
ear. I feel like that was the oh, what's going on with Black Flag thing
Because
right
I
now? Now you
because I know there were other, like obviously in 1984 you already had like bands like Mission of Burma who were in the punk scene but were clearly not punk music, or like
yes.
Husker Du or things like that. So I know that there were other bands doing other things, but when I started hearing Before the Fall, I'm like, in 86 was everybody just in the punk scene kind of cool with bands being more post-punk now? Because that's immediately what it is.
Okay, so
And where did that start? Like who
okay,
started it? Who made it okay?
so first of all, like there's a band called the yes, like when did Husker Du go from Land Speed Record to what they turned into? That
But even the early Husker Du is still melodic as fuck. So it's
no,
like
no,
some
that's
of
what I
it,
mean.
some of it,
That's what
yeah.
I'm talking about. Land Speed Record. Have you heard Land Speed
Yes,
Record? Okay, so from Land Speed Record to Metal Circus to
yeah. Zen Arcade,
Zen Arcade is
yeah,
like bucka, bucka, bucka. Like it is just
sure,
wham! It is just these huge jumps. You know what I mean? So I think that people were very accepting of that to a certain degree. There were purists, of course. There's purists,
yeah.
but I think so. But the musicians themselves got tired of playing the thing, and so they
Which I would
were
have too, yeah.
yes, and so they took the elements from one and went to the next, and they were trying to expand their sound. So if you're asking, is post punk has always been there. Whatever's labeled post punk right now, like grunge, for instance,
Yeah.
I did. Grunge was never a thing. My whole life, it was never a thing. And somewhere in my 20s, there was a new word.
Well,
And it,
grunge was
okay,
just
so
a new word to describe something that was already happening.
exactly.
Yeah.
But if you listen to Green River, or if you listen to that stuff that was even like that Kings of Pain, Poison idea. If I mean, look, it went into many different directions, but there was a
Yeah.
pop direction that punk rock went to, which you go from fucking fast. What's that? Sosa, the band that Soul Asylum was before they were Soul Asylum, faster, louder, or something. I can't remember their name right now. Or like the Goo Goo Dolls,
Yeah.
the fucking Goo Goo
Yeah,
Dolls.
they were a
You know,
punk
like.
band.
But that for okay, so you went into this pure pop realm, which if you really follow, uh, was Field Day a band or an album by Dag Nasty?
I don't know if Field Day was a band.
It was an album,
Probably.
right?
Well, Dag Nasty
Yes.
originally put out 2 albums, right? I think it was
Wig Out of Denko's and
Can
that.
I Say?
Can I say thank you? Thank you. I was going to get really busted if we didn't come up with that one. Okay, so by my friends, dude, can I say? And all right,
Because
yeah, totally, yeah.
I'm a Dag. I love Dag Nasty. I love
Okay,
yeah.
so who was that second singer? Peter something or
And
other?
Dag Nasty.
In Dag, yeah,
I,
there was a guy who came in later. He was Brian Baker.
I don't know. Dave is on both albums, isn't he?
Oh
I
man,
know
dude.
Dave sings on Can I Say. No, he sings on both of them.
I want to know if there's a.
God damn it!
It's not working. Okay, so what's the total?
Give me a minute.
Okay,
Dag Nasty.
nasty discography.
Dag Nasty. Okay, so we're gonna look at members of this band, and okay, so Dave Smalley was lead vocals 1986, 1992, 2002. So he was the original. Okay, no, originally Sean Brown was the vocalist in 85, 86.
Okay,
But
here it is. It was a Dag Nasty record. It's called Field Day. And
oh,
it is,
okay. So
it's great.
here's the thing. So Field Day probably does not have Dave Smalley on it.
No, it does
doesn't.
not. It has another guy on it. His
So-
name is Peter something or other.
And
And-
you know why I don't know much about these later Dag Nasty albums?
Why?
Because my brain in my brain and in my discovery of music, it was, oh, Dave Smalley was in Dag Nasty for 2 albums. Then he was in All. And that's where
Okay.
that's where I went from then. I was following him in All.
Totally.
And
Totally.
and then he starts Down by Law. He was in that band a little later. But
And he was in DYS. That was his first band.
Oh,
Department,
okay.
Department of Youth Services was his first band.
so I don't think I've ever heard Field Day.
Okay, it's fucking great, but
Yeah.
it is a pop record. It is a pop
Well, good.
motherfucking
I like
record.
that kind of shit.
Yeah. So and that's
Clearly.
Brian Baker. Brian Baker, and then he jumps into rock and roll from there, and then he goes back into the punk thing. Do you know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
like
Brian Baker was in what's that band called?
Bad Mother Goose.
No.
Junkyard.
Junkyard, yeah.
Junkyard.
Singer of that band passed away recently.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that.
Of Junkyard. I really like Junkyard. They were a little too bluesy for me, but I liked some stuff about them.
Sure.
Anyway,
So you had that. And then there was metal. Bands went metal. So they
and
went
there was
pop.
also crossover punk thrash stuff. Yeah. So there was. I understand there was a lot of things happening, but I was thinking about it from a fan
About
like
what
you,
Black
like,
Flag did.
but like not just that. Like you were a big fan of Rat in a Maze before The Fall comes out, which I guess it's not because there's an album in between. But like, you just were totally cool with it. Like there was no like, why is this all slower and why is it?
Well, it's not though. Is the deal?
Most of it is pretty slow.
I don't know. There's some
Comparatively
serious-
speaking, it's very slow compared to Rat in a Maze.
Yes, and okay, totally. But then they go into the slower part, and some of them are actually reggae slower parts.
There are
and all
parts
that
on
other kind
Before
of
the
stuff.
Fall that sound like goth rock from the 80s.
Yes, and then because then you got to understand TSOL, man. TSOL's
Yeah.
fucking huge. So they come out with that abolish government thing, that little EP with those very
Yeah.
fast hardcore songs. And by the time you're into fucking Beneath the Shadows, which is a brilliant record,
Yeah.
like you're like, wow, you guys totally just and poor Bad Religion. Poor Bad Religion, that Into the Unknown record that people trashed so hard.
I actually like that album.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So there were purists. There
Yeah.
were. So when Black Flag did what they did, there were purists that said, fuck you guys.
And so I guess
And then
the difference was bands like Black Flag were just unapologetic and continued to do the shit, and then other bands also did the shit, even though there was backlash. But then people were just fans of some of those bands anyway, so it didn't matter.
Totally. 100%.
Yeah.
And you have to get, Dez was the bridge. Those, damn it,
Yeah.
my attack. All that stuff comes from that era.
Yeah,
Henry inherited that.
sure.
You had Keith Morris as what? Johnny Bob Goldstein or whatever in the early Black Flag stuff. And then you have Chavo and those are sacred.
Yeah.
That shit's sacred. Nervous breakdown, all that shit. Then you get into Dez, and
Uh,
now that's when people were like, "Wait, what the fuck is going on?" Now Henry
yeah.
just takes that,
Yeah.
you know,
I think my love of the later Black Flag is taking that aspect, but then where Greg Ginn was taking the music,
hmm
it's way more interesting to me because there's
then what?
then
Then that middle part.
straightforward punk. I would rather listen to Slip It In than Nervous Breakdown any day of the week. Doesn't to me there's great things about both of those songs, but one of them speaks to me in a very more visceral way. The other one, some things are so just middle of the road punk, even if they were early days, that I just go, this is great, but it's like it doesn't do anything for me because
Okay, and
I
this
don't
is the
hear the
point, dude.
rebellion. I hear conformity.
Yeah,
In
but of course you do, dude. But you're not in eighth grade.
oh, I know, yeah,
No, you know what I mean when that
and all of this stuff I heard
and
after the fact too. So
yeah, oh yeah, and this is what I think is so cool about it is that like I can vividly see where the stuff that you love came out when you were fucking at the age where like your head was wide open to
oh
things
fuck
and
yeah,
it went right in there.
yeah,
Because when wrote down that if I would have bought the Creep Diets record in '93, I would have been way more attached to it than hearing it as a 58-year-old person right now.
yeah,
But when I go back and I listen to this, all the same things that I was like maybe slightly judgy on about Creep Diets, I could easily say the same arguments about this. But the only difference is that I was a teenager when this came out,
and that's
and that's the only
and
difference.
that's why I
And
like this is it's I love it. It's fun because like and
yes,
that's a part of what I'm at, what I these things that I'm saying are putting myself in the headspace of a teenager hearing these things. I guess you would have been so 86 you would have
well,
been
yes, I would have been a senior in high school, or I would have graduated that year or whatever. But this stuff is honestly, I was into new wave in eighth grade, so the punk rock thing was the stuff that I listened to that came out when I was in eighth grade. I didn't start listening to until I was a freshman in high school.
yeah.
And I gotta say, man, Kansas is awesome, but it is not the center of the universe. It's the center of the fucking country, but it is not. So all of this stuff that just started fucking falling in was like it might as well have been David Bowie with the fucking thing across his face because it was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
And it spilled out very quickly.
Yeah.
And then one album was connected to another album and another album.
Yeah.
And so when I'm about to have a nervous breakdown, I know my head really hurts. I'm a kid.
Yeah.
And then I can't find a way out of here, man.
Yeah.
You know, like I just gonna go berserk.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fucking kid.
Yeah.
I got so much energy, I don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? And we were cranking that shit and we were skateboarding to that shit. And it was like, bam, there it
Yeah.
is. My youth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why that stuff is very important. But I get it about Slip It In, because Slip It In, when that stuff come out, now I'm like a little, I've already, I've been around the block. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Henry was the I've been around the block guy. You know what I mean?
But
And you're like, okay.
funny enough, like
uh-huh.
Slip It In came out the same year that My War came out.
Yeah,
Same
they
exact
were
year.
cranking. No, they were cranking. Everyone was amazed.
Yeah.
They just would
And
not stop.
it wasn't
And
just
they
them.
never
Like,
came off the road.
A
They
lot of
never
the
came off the road.
SST bands were putting out like a bunch of fucking records in a row.
They were in a hurry.
Yeah, which
They
is
had to
like
do it.
the momentum is you can feel the momentum in a lot of that music. It's,
Absolutely beautiful.
But
Yeah.
but like that's the thing I was thinking about because the two things that Before the Fall made me think of was later Black Flag and Dag Nasty. Those were the two bands that I kept thinking of when I heard some of this music.
Yes. Yeah.
But
There is no. Would you say there was any metal in that record
in which one? Before the Fall?
before the fall?
Zero. There's zero metal.
Okay. Cool. Agreed. There was no metal in it.
I see them
So-
referred to as thrashy, and I'm like, I don't see how they are thrashy, but I don't know, maybe.
Well, they played at a velocity.
Yeah,
They were generally playing very quick. I
yeah.
mean, kaka 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 kaka.
I can
Go ahead.
imagine that these songs live would have been a lot faster. Because on the album,
Oh,
some of them are very slow, especially after listening to
yeah,
Rat in a Maze. But I mean,
yeah.
but getting back to this, so Before the Fall is a great opener. The
Hmm.
my honestly the going through this album again,
Hmm.
my biggest gripe about this album
Yes.
is the vocalist on this album,
Okay.
only because he does a thing too much that bothers me, and that is he sings exactly along with the guitar melody. Almost everything he does is singing not
Okay.
only
I can see. I can see that.
not only the notes, but he'll make his words go exactly with the riff of the guitar, and that's very cool sometimes.
Yes, it
But
is
on a
really cool
whole
songs.
album of it, I go, God, they if because okay, so first songs I fucking love that first song.
Hmm.
Really love the second song, American Steel.
Yeah, American Steel's awesome.
Faster,
Yeah,
a little
right,
bit
right.
more
Yeah, yeah.
punky.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I'm a big fan of throwing in other guitar techniques, and
Okay.
they do this harmonic strumming in that one. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
they do
Yeah,
that
yeah,
little
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
and I'm
Yep,
like,
yep.
that's. I mean, it takes no fucking talent to do it, but
None, zero.
the
It's the easiest thing
decision
to
to
have done.
decide to do it there, it sounds cool as fuck. So really great song. So far, yeah. So far, the first two tracks, like
Okay,
you
right
get a
on.
little bit of a post
Yeah.
punk thing in Before the Fall, which I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that song, and
Okay.
then American Steel, way
Yeah.
more energetic.
Okay.
Now you get to New Tribes.
Go ahead.
This is the first song where I realized that, well, musically this isn't as exciting as the first two songs. What would make this song more interesting? And it would have to be a different vocalist. It would have to be a vocalist that did something different than follow the guitars. So when that, so
True.
it
Okay.
it didn't do much for me. But then Dragon in the Kremlin, really cool because I really love descending riffs. And Black Flag
This
did that
song,
shit too, but like a
yeah.
lot of that kind of thing. I love riffs like that.
Okay. This is the song that never leaves my head.
It's very,
There's a dragon in the
a lot of this stuff
Kremlin.
super catchy.
Right? It's
Yeah.
like- yeah. So, and thank you for taking part of this because, again, I don't know if you're going to like anything, but I love the way you listen to music. So I want to hear you talk
Yeah.
about it.
Well, I mean,
This
yeah,
is awesome. This is okay. Right on. Okay.
yeah. This is
Right.
it's hard. It's hard for me to not enjoy 80s punk music just because
Okay.
there's something enjoyable about it no matter what. But
Okay.
when I'm listening to these things, unfortunately, like it gets to God in Heaven, the fact that it follows a dragon in the Kremlin and it's
Sure.
not as interesting, I just went,
Okay.
oh, this one doesn't do as
Okay.
much for me.
God in heaven, with
Yeah.
somebody in here. You know, like
It-
that melody is just
It's
so good.
it's all right, but he's singing
Okay,
along with the
all right.
guitar.
Well, or the guitar is going along with him. But anyway, I get what you're saying. I totally get it. It's
And then-
the effect is the same.
So then you get to Teenage Blue, which
Yes.
my note says it's a 1 minute song stretched to 3 minutes because it shouldn't be that long. Not enough happens in that song.
Yeah, that's another. And then that one's an up tempo one too. Correct?
And I wrote,
That's very up-tempo,
and I wrote a
yeah.
better vocalist could have done more with this song to make it more interesting.
He was so cool live.
I'm sure that's the thing is that I
His
feel like
thing
some
was-
of these songs, if they were played a little faster with a little more aggression, I think
Right.
they would have been a little bit cooler. So
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
know.
It's okay. Yeah,
Golgotha
yeah.
has a very cool vibe, but I also really enjoy when songs have muted choruses. When the verse
Okay.
is big and then they bring
Yes.
down the chorus
Yeah.
for him doing the GL or whatever he's spelling
Yeah.
out Golgotha.
G-O-L-A. He has to put an extra syllable in L.
Yeah.
G-O-L-A.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
He
the-
does weird pronunciations of so many
He's
words.
so I don't even know if he's English or not. I have no idea. He might be English.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Silicon Visions. This was one where the beginning of the song was really cool, and then it kind of went into something that was kind of run of the mill.
Yes.
And could have been better. It's kind of like how you felt about that one Fudge Tunnel song. It started off and you're like, oh, and then it kind of went into what you
it goes back into what they do. It goes back into their gimmick. Yeah, totally. I agree. Yep.
So then side B.
And again, this is the same. You love all those Fudge Tunnel songs, and it's totally cool. You know what I mean? Like,
but I can totally point out and go,
reason.
They're doing the same shit. I understand they're doing the same shit.
Yeah.
Night of the Long Knives, very catchy song. Like,
this
is a song that I was listening to the album again today.
Thank you.
And after this song ended, I had to go feed the dogs, and it was literally on a loop in my head.
It'll get in there. Get in there.
I love the darker vibe. I especially love the way the guitars sound in the instrumental sections of that song. Very cool.
And there's a lot of expansive instrumental sections, don't you think?
Yeah. But that's where those are the areas where they verge on this gothic post-punk kind of thing that I really think is cool.
And that title.
Yeah.
Night of the Long Knives.
Then my name is Nobody, which is also keeping the slower, moody vibes. It's not as memorable as Night of the Long Knives, but it keeps the vibe going.
Yes, side 2. Do you understand? This is side 2.
Like My War.
Like My War. This was a thing. You know what I mean? Totally. Yeah.
Three Roses Over Tragedy. That I really liked that one too, but it's like, this was the one where I'm like, this is almost gothy, but I really loved the vibe of it. So at this point, I'm like, this is cool how they really slowed things down and got way more moody on side
moody
B.
as fuck.
But then you get to Shock Troopin'. Fast Punk again, probably I think it's the fastest song on the album. But once again, they do that thing I love where they pull the rug out from under you and they go slow. They get slow.
Yes. And the mosh part.
Yeah. Like, well, there you go. The mosh part.
The mosh part. Yeah, totally.
But this, by the time you get to this song, especially, there's other ones on this album. But I was just like, I have not been paying attention to the bass player enough in this band because.
Oh my fucking God.
I don't know. Because even on the first EP, the bass playing is really cool. So, but it's two different dudes, two different bass players.
I get it, but that was the vibe of that music. The bass player was so important.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
so important.
I actually really think that's something that was lost in a lot of later punk music.
Agreed.
Because sure you
unison playing. It all became unison playing.
But sure, because you had bands like Green Day and Rancid that had fantastic bass players who did fantastic stuff. But then once punk became kind of more popular, you started to lose that, and all of a sudden it was
lost it.
Oh, this is just the bass player plays exactly along with the riff, and then maybe halfway through the song the guitar will drop out long enough for the bass guitar
bass player.
But in these cases, the bass is not playing directly along with the chords, with the riffs. And so I'm like, oh yeah, this is the kind of stuff that's like missing from a lot of punk music. Because a lot of people, when they think old school punk, their brains are going to go to like the Misfits. And I'm like, look, Misfits are great. One of my good friends that I was in bands with back in the day, he made one of the best points ever. He goes, look, Misfits are amazing, but you take Glenn Danzig out of the Misfits, those are some shitty songs.
No, I agree. Agreed.
And that's because there's no. Tell me what the bass player ever does in any Misfits song except maybe Hollywood Babylon or London Dungeon. But even then, it just goes into like them all playing the same shit. Anyway, last song. Give Me Something Better.
Give me some better.
I liked this as an ender because I'm a big fan of throwing something fast at the end to wrap up an album. But
bring it back up.
But it's not an amazing song.
No, it's not amazing. It's not one of the better ones on the album.
But it's cool because it kind of reminds you of like who you're listening to and where you started. Because it's like this is nice sort of fast punk song closing it out.
Yes.
Really, like both of these albums have really good repeat listen potential because they don't. There are things about them that I'm just like, this could be more interesting. But overall, they have things about them that kind of call you back to listen to them again. Whether it's something that's catchy or a fucking cool guitar part or whatever.
Yes. or a cool lyric, and
Or
it's
cool,
just
yeah.
like,
Well, yeah.
yeah,
I read
yeah,
through. I only read through the lyrics the first time I listened to them, and the
right.
lyrics were all kind of like, well, this is kind of like your average, socially aware punk rock
Yes,
kind of stuff,
totally,
which I'm
totally.
all for it because it's like all
Yeah.
stuff that I'm like, well, I wish more bands were singing about this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But
right. And so the consciousness of youth would be something other than right. Yeah, totally. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Which is fine. It's fine. Whatever.
but yeah. So, it was more when I gave myself the other listens to take in the songs as a whole that
Yes.
made me
Right.
like it more because I
Yeah.
wasn't
Okay.
paying
Cool.
so much attention to the singer,
Yes.
and you really
Yes.
were hearing like the band and.
They were
This is
tight as fuck live.
this is easily stuff that if I had seen it live, it would have probably blown my mind because
It,
it's really cool on record, but especially before the fall, it sounds like I would like to have heard these songs live. Not now. I want to travel back to 1986 and see
same.
these songs live
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
it seems like it would have been a really, especially if they play something like Night of the Long Knives and then went and played Red, White, and Blue or something,
Yeah.
Like
Oh
imagine
no,
being at a show where you get all of that going on in the show,
they did too. They did a
which is
really good
why,
job.
which is like not to keep harping on Black Flag, but I feel like they are like archetype of punk rock. But the later, like for me, like the Black Flag lineup is, Greg Ginn, Henry Rollins, Bill Stevenson on drums, and Kira on bass guitar. Like, and you see footage of them, and it's cool because they're going to play these sort of weird, angular songs from their later albums, but then they're going to play Six Pack
Gimme.
or Gimme 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 or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
100%.
this is fucking
Yep.
great.
No, it
having
was great.
having that kind of show where you just get these dynamics,
Yep.
and it might part of the show might also be Greg Ginn making god awful noise on a guitar for 5 minutes. You never fucking
Right.
know.
You never know.
But
You never know.
but it makes
Yeah.
me like, like I almost feel like I need you to guide me into the world of like 80s punk rock because I know all the big bands. And some
Yeah,
of them I
totally.
don't even really like that much. The Germs
Okay.
are okay.
Oh.
I like some stuff like that, but
Okay.
but if you
Right,
listen to
right.
the names that I throw out to you, like your Husker Doos and your Dag Nasty and all of those kind of things, I love those bands that were
Same.
could be aggressive, also could be really catchy, but also
Very
could
catchy.
kind of Descendants is a really great example. That last Descendants record before they broke up in the 80s, weird fucking songs on that album.
Was that Enjoy or was
It's
that
all.
the one after
It's
that?
all.
Oh, it's called All.
It's
right.
called All.
That's before they turned into All.
But it's the
Right.
last
Yeah.
one with
Yeah.
Milo.
Yeah.
But like if you go listen to that album, there are some really classic Descendant sounding 80s punk songs.
Very,
But
very.
then there's the very last song on the album is fucking Prague. It
Yeah.
is
What's that one called? It's got a
schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia. Yeah.
And then there's
yeah, yeah.
Iceman is on there as well, which
Yeah,
is just
yeah.
them flirting with all these weird influences. And to
Yeah.
me, like that, I feel like if I was a teenager in the 80s, I would have been into like the straightforward punk, but I would have gravitated towards the bands that were like,
Yeah.
wait, what are they doing now? Like, would have loved it.
Totally. And the best part about that was all the local bands.
Yeah.
You would go to a show and see two almost totally different, I mean, drum, bass, guitar, vocalists. I mean,
Both rock bands.
Yeah, right. Maybe one of them would have a saxophone or maybe one of them would have a keyboard or whatever. But I mean, you could go see. And then I think they toured together like that. It wasn't even like a package show or like a, you could be, I mean, whatever. There was a lot. There was examples of everything, but it was like I feel like yeah, there was just a time when you would just go see a weird art band, like the fucking Butthole Surfers.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And
From
then,
my
like,
neck of the woods, yeah.
yeah, and I mean, it's there's I got to thinking about it. The Dicks, the
Over
Little
here,
Surfers,
you had the big boys.
and the Big
You
Boys.
had
Texas was very important.
what was the other? God, why
Dude,
am
the
I?
Dicks are so good. Do you listen to the Dicks ever?
No, I've heard the Dicks, not as much. So I know a
Okay.
lot. What is the other Austin area? There's big boys, and then there's another one. I can't think of the name right now. So I'm sorry.
It's so hard to do. How many hours have we been talking?
It's three now.
9.
It's three.
Son of a bitch.
That's all right.
I thought
can't-
for sure you go ahead.
We came to a close. What were you sure? What were you sure of?
I was like, he and I are gonna knock out an hour and 15 minutes, man. We're gonna nail this fucker, and then we're oh no, it didn't happen.
No, if you want shows that are going to end quickly, then you need to
Right.
give
Right.
like make me listen to some country music or something.
Sure.
Because it's just going to be Smurl had me listen to Merle Haggard. Fuck you. Show over.
Merle's got some snuffers, man, but I mean, I wouldn't make
But
you listen to the
but
whole
there's no
record.
connection there. Not interested in the
No.
music. The scene's not
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
There's like
No,
nothing
no,
to talk
the
about.
Scene is not. No, the scene is not.
Remember that underground country scene of the
No,
80s?
I don't. Is there one now though? I think there's one
gotta
now.
be.
There's probably one
There's
in the
probably
90s, right?
every
There was-
underground scene you can think of. Here it's like, and the thing is, like, there's really cool scenes in Houston, and I'm
Right.
so like antisocial and nervous about going out that I don't go to these shows, and I know that I would have a blast watching these young people.
Oh, sure.
I want to, because there are
Yes.
these big, like day long shows here that have punk, metal, all the different kinds of shit, ska, all fucking mixed in, and I'm like, God, that'd be so fucking fun if I could just get myself out the door.
Right, just out the door. Maybe that's all it takes.
I don't even want to be a part of the scene. I want to sit there and watch all of these kids lose their fucking minds to this music.
Yeah.
You know?
I do too, just
Yeah.
to know it exists.
Yeah,
You know
because
what I
it
mean?
does.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
out there. If you look, I mean, I
100%.
clearly in Chicago for sure, but
Yeah,
but in Houston, there's a very big like punk, metal, and even ska, over mixtures of the two. Like there's a fucking
Right.
ska metal band that's in Houston.
Perfect.
That's
Perfect.
that's pretty getting. They're kind of big, I guess. But anyway,
Well, how old are they?
they're all 20 somethings, maybe
Okay.
younger.
Right on. Perfect. Yeah.
But there's a one of the most recent like young thrash bands from Houston that I think is so good. I went to go see them. I went to go see them live. They completely blew my mind. None of them were old enough to drink when I saw them.
Yeah. What was the name of that band?
Nemesis.
Nemesis,
I
yeah,
did an
you
interview with a band called Labyrinth that were pretty good, but this band Nemesis, they're still together. But Labyrinth broke up. Nemesis though, like they're wait, is that their name? Why does that sound wrong?
Yeah, that doesn't sound like that's what it was.
God damn it. I think that's whatever.
It doesn't matter. I feel you reviewed their record or something, didn't you?
I did something. I don't know. I just know that like it made me happy because like I'm like it feels like the same way it would have felt seeing some young kids do it back in the day. And anyway, so it's out there. People go and do things. Get out of the house. Don't be like old head.
No, go do some shit.
Old head talks
Yeah.
himself out of doing pretty much
Right.
everything.
Yeah,
Unless my wife wants to go, and then
Yeah,
usually-
then you go. Then
but
you
she
go.
doesn't
Hey
wanna-
man, I left
she
the house
doesn't
to
wanna
go.
either.
No, she doesn't want to.
No.
I left the house the other day and went and met Roberts.
Oh yeah, and you and
Yeah.
the girl from Kill Whitey was there too.
Yeah. Kim, I
Kim.
called Kim. I was like, dude, you got to be there, and she said totally, and he was in town with his son. His name is Matt Roberts, and he runs a Facebook page that is dedicated to Stick and Kill Whitey. And now, like every band all of us have ever been in, it's cool. Like he's finding stuff I mean, Grither that Tim was in, and I mean, the only thing he doesn't really have is I don't think he's got that superfluous that Daryl has done, and I don't think he's got anything from a Gunfighter, which Mike was in. But it's just a ball to watch him like find this stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm actually a little scared he's now gonna find like my mug shots or something. Like I don't know what's going on. Like he's just like so good at finding stuff on the internet or whatever. But I'd never met the dude, and and they were in town for the U.S. Germany something to do with soccer. I don't know.
The World Cup?
I don't know. Is that what's going on?
It's
I don't
well,
know.
I
Is
think
it?
it's happening
No,
now.
it just yeah, the World Cup just started. So is
It's
there a
happening in
pre-World
Houston
Cup?
as well.
And Mexico, right? There's a thing
There's
going on in
several
Mexico or
different
something.
cities around the world. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I heard it was like Mexico, America, and Canada, correct? It's in all. I don't
May-
know. It's sports, man. I don't really do. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what
don't
to do
know. I
about
just know that
sports.
it's in
Yeah, I
Houston.
don't know. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Did you get a new stadium?
No. What do you mean?
Well, I just because sometimes they build new stadiums at
No,
places when they
they
got
took
these
over.
things.
There's literally a stadium right down the street from right down the highway. You could get there in like 5 minutes.
Okay.
They just changed the name of the stadium for the World
Oh,
Cup.
okay. For the World
So,
Cup. Okay.
but
But yeah, it was
it's
cool.
literally like right down there. If I wanted to go, I don't.
Nice, nice. But it was great to meet Matt. His son was really cool, and I must have signed my name on 50 things.
Nice,
It was
nice.
amazing. Yeah. Yeah, he's a really nice dude. It was really great to meet him. So it was awesome. Anyway, so I left the
Did you
house.
ask him why? Like, why did he become so kind of obsessed with that grouping of
Yeah.
bands?
Well, I've asked him before, and I think it's just one of those things where he managed a record store, you know what I mean? And I think the record came in, and I think it just spoke to him, and I
Yeah,
think he,
the Stick
if I
record,
had,
by the way, or was
yeah,
it Kill
stick
Whitey
record,
that
yeah.
spoke to him? Which band?
No, a stick. It was the stick record.
Heavy bag.
And then yeah, he said that he thought that we were combining a lot of elements that he enjoyed from other music, but we were doing it in a way that was, I'm putting words in his mouth and I'm paraphrasing,
But I
but he
agree.
would
I feel
be,
the same way.
okay, so and then I think there had something to do with the proximity that he's Nebraska and we were Kansas, and
Yeah.
but he said he would play the record in the store and people would ask who it was or whatever and blah blah blah. And I'm not tooting my own horn or whatever. I'm just saying that I think I don't know. That was what, like, for instance, I've been in my mind. I've been thinking about this. Like, you're in a band and you
Hmm.
want to play and you want people to be there because you want the atmosphere to be more charged.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want more people to be there. Sometimes you do just want the 25 or 50. There's a time. But
Yeah.
then if you stick with it or you choose to go in a direction where you want to start playing venues instead of parties or whatever, now you are saying to the promoter, I can get people in the door. They just want to sell tickets and
Hmm.
beer and food and whatever. So, okay, so now you get 50 people. Now you get 100 people. Now you get 200 people. Can I play this venue? Can I play in this city? Can I do this? So, but what you're doing is it's like views, I would assume, on a thing. You're not really getting individuals. You're trying to get a crowd.
Yeah.
And then when you play your shows, you do start to recognize people
Hmm.
because, like you said, one show, one person comes up. Now there's five people up there. And now you have people in front of you. And then
Hmm.
you're like, oh hey, oh hey, oh hey, oh hey. You're right. And then maybe after the show they go, hey, great show, or thanks a lot, or see you next time, or da 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 da. And you're like, hey, cool. And then you learn their first name. And then maybe you know who they are. And then maybe they give you the tape of their band. That there's this thing that happens,
Hmm.
but I've never ever, and I've never met someone like Matt before who like just got into it.
Yeah.
And in a weird way, and you as a songwriter and as an artist or whatever, songwriter.
You've written
I'm
songs.
not. No, I know, but I'm not. I don't want to call myself an artist because, like, whatever. I got a whole thing about our musicians, artists, but I guess we are. But okay, so, but like, dude, people love the fucking Beatles, man. They love them. They listen to every word and they want to know
Yeah.
the sequence of their songs and all this kind of stuff. I've never met someone who did that to a band I was in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's super cool,
Yeah.
but then I don't, but then I have a, you don't feel worthy of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or something? Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, dude, Matt, totally. I wish I had all the things that he has had to go on the line to buy that I could have just been like, here, Matt, take it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But my
Uh,
shit got stolen out of my house and I don't really have a bunch of stuff anymore. But it is just like, I'd have never had experience. And you know what? He's fucking totally funny. He's totally normal. He's just a guy. He's a guy. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it's not like, because I think there's a tendency when someone gets to be really into something that they like how into John Lennon was Mark David Chapman. And I'm saying that because we have extreme examples of people who follow somebody
I got
and then
it.
they get twisted. But then there's just fans of stuff that people like stuff too. Do you know what
Yep.
I mean? But we don't
Yep.
hear those stories because they don't end in anything tragic or
Yeah.
anything weird. And I'm not saying anything weird about Matt. I am not. I'm saying that it was a fucking beautiful experience. He
Yeah.
just happens to be into it, and it was really cool to meet him.
Well, it's probably also more of the thing like I have with certain bands because like you get into a particular band and it's not a thing that you hear people talk about all the time. You don't hear the songs in the grocery store. You don't
Yes.
constantly like
Yes.
it's more like personal because it's
Personal.
a smaller band.
Mhm.
And so yeah. I don't know, I totally get it. I get some when a
Yeah.
band connects with you like that and
Yeah.
and you feel like you're one of the only ones, you just want to be like, why is everybody else not into this? I should start talking about
Yeah.
it, which is literally what I do.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So
And I think he's probably literally got other bands that he's also totally into and collects their stuff. But we just happen to be the I don't know. Anyway, it was really great. So
nice.
there's that. Please go to Facebook.
Yeah, and go Facebook, look, and
Yep.
just type in Stick, aka
Dick,
KW.
AKA KW
I think that's it.
Band Lawrence,
I don't
something
know.
like that.
Something
Anyway,
like
you'll
that.
find it. Yeah.
A lot of good
There's
shit.
a lot of excitement going on over there. A lot of excitement. You know what I mean? Okay. Hey, thanks everybody.
Yes, this has been fun. Thanks for
Thank
the.
you.
So I think the next. I've already been thinking about a movie,
Yeah.
but for our next album, I am leaning towards
Okay.
sending you something pretty new.
Oh, good. So you want me to do that too?
You don't have to.
Okay.
I'm just
'Cause I was
wanting you to
thinking-
know, but we'll talk about it later. But there
Okay.
is a album that came out recently within the past
Okay.
couple years
Okay.
that is infectious.
I
And
love that.
and I
love
keep listening to it, and I go, "This
Okay.
is a 10 out of 10 album."
that. Okay.
And so I'm like, well, maybe if I feel that strongly about, because it's literally not just, well, maybe you'll get it. No, this is literally me confidently saying, I think you're going to think this is a 10 out of 10 album.
Great, 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 great,
So-
great, great.
So I thought
great.
that's on my brain. But
No
for the
pressure, no pressure, no
but for the-
pressure.
but for the movie one,
Yeah. Okay.
for the movie one, I think
Yes.
we're gonna keep going to since we did like a meaningful band for me, we're gonna do one of the most meaningful movies for me
Perfect.
because you said you hadn't seen Clerks in a long time.
No, I'm not. No, I can barely. I just remembered the ending was weird.
Probably won't like it,
Well, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
but the conversation will be like this. It will be
No,
this
it's
kind
gonna
of
be great.
conversation.
Yeah, I feel that I've almost. I feel like it's one of those deals with Cocoon, where a discussion came up around something that we need to talk about, and it was Legend.
Oh, you think you're gonna wanted me to watch Legend?
Yes.
I'll totally do it.
Okay, because you were, and by the way, I didn't leave a comment on your last video about the VHS stuff because I was like, dude, every movie you talked about, I wanted to watch. So I fucking stopped. I stopped watching it.
You did
I was
comment
like,
on it.
No. I said something. Yeah, I mean, but I was like, I'm out because I want to see Nemesis, right? That was speaking of
Yeah.
Nemesis. That was,
Yeah.
I want to see all those fucking movies, and you're very good about the plot. You spoiler alert, like a motherfucker. So I can't
in
listen
that
to it.
episode,
can't
I made
okay.
sure that I didn't spoil anything that wouldn't have been in a trailer.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't even watch trailers.
On that first episode of the VHS
Right.
show, I flat out spoiled one movie.
Oh, you said you did. Oh, I just saw Back Rooms.
Oh, is that good?
I liked it.
All right, cool.
I liked it. Anyway, so that being said, anyway, so yeah, but you talked about Labyrinth, dude.
I don't
You talked
watch-
about Labyrinth. You talked about Labyrinth.
Okay.
But it may be Dark Crystal because you haven't seen Dark Crystal either, correct?
I have. I saw it in the theater. I have not seen
Okay.
I have not seen Dark Crystal in maybe 40 years though.
Okay.
So I don't know. But I was trying to think of the most
Okay.
recent movie I saw, which was my wife wanted to watch Project Hail Mary. That's what it was.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. I had a good time. But that's it. We don't watch a lot of newer movies, but every once in a while one pops up and we watch it. And I was like, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
It was a movie.
Anyway,
Yeah.
okay, movies for next time.
Movies next time. Yeah, so I
thanks-
feel Legend. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
And you're thinking what?
Clerks.
Clerks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two very different movies, but that'll be interesting conversation.
Fantastic.
So
Okay.
join us next time. We'll get around to it. Our lives, I'm already like weird with shit anyway because I get very like into my routine and my groove, and I completely forget about things. And so that's why, like, at one point I was sitting at the dinner table and when I texted you, I was like, have we done it? We didn't do a Summum Bonum. What day is it? And that's why I was just like, hey, are we going to do this soon? Because I get so like in my day to day that I completely go like, wait, what are we doing?
Same. Yeah, we missed last month.
Well, maybe we'll get to it sooner this time. But
okay, kick-ass, awesome.
But remember last time I like coming up with a phrase for the people that make it to the end.
Oh, there was something about a chocolate bow tie, but I mean, I don't know.
We can just do chocolate bow tie. Why not?
Oh, really?
I like chocolate bow tie. That sounds like a weird sexual thing.
It really does.
Hey, baby, you want me to give you a chocolate bow tie?
Right, because what is
right in the face.
What's the Dirty Sanchez?
Dirty Sanchez.
Right, that's the Dirty Sanchez. We get the chocolate bow tie.
Gross.
Well,
so yeah, if you made it this far, give us a chocolate bow tie, and
give us a
and tell your friends. Tell your friends all
They're
about
totally into it. These guys are totally into chocolate bow ties. Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you again next time.
Appreciate it. Bye.